Live on a Saturday night, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the last of a three-game series and the last of 6 straight meetings as the Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. The Grizz are looking to salvage the third game of the Texas portion of the extended 6-game, 2-city series. Utah got a victory last Saturday to salvage the third and final game at Maverick Center in a 3-game set. That was a 3-2 final. This week over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center on Wednesday morning, Allen got a 3-2 victory as Utah got goals from Jack Ricketts and Neil Shea. On Wednesday, the Grizzlies outshot the Americans 47-25, and last night the Grizzlies outshot the Americans 51-33 and a 24-9 edge in the third period. Colbian scored a first-period goal, and Griffin Ness and Christoph Ilion each had third-period goals, but the Allen Americans came away with a 6-3 victory. Colby McCauley got the game's first goal, 4:20 into the first period. Hargrove and Caddick got the assist. And then Colbian scored from the right wing. Danny Genev and Griffin Ness picked up the assist. And for Genev, it was his first of 2 assists on the night. He leads Utah with 11 helpers on the year. Really, the big difference in the game was late in the second period when Allen scored 3 goals in the span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Thomas Caron, Troy Murray, and Braden Watts each found the back of the net, and that made it a 4-1 game, and that's where it stood heading into the third period. Grizzlies climbed back as Griffin Ness scored a power play goal 6:30 in with Genev and Felton getting the assist, and then Christoph Ilion redirected an Aiden Hansen-Bukata shot 8:31 in. Jack Ricketts also picked up an assist to extend his point-scoring streak to 6 straight. The big insurance goal, though, scored by Allen Spencer Asachuk, that came 13-17 into the third, was Braden Simmons-Fisher and Braden Watts getting the assists. And Quinn Warmoth added an empty netter towards the end with 17:30 left in the third as the Americans came away with the victory. Utah is 1-4 against Allen this year, and Utah is looking to find a way to get back on the winning note. The Grizzlies have been a strong road team this year. They are 6-5-1 away from Maverick Center. Utah did win the special teams battle last night as they went 1 for 4 on the power play and were a perfect 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. So it should be an interesting one. Grizzlies have taken a ton of shots against Allen this year. They've taken 201 shots in 5 games against the Americans, an average of 40.2. And you just look at the last 3 games for the Grizzlies. You think back to last Saturday at Maverick Center and the 3-2 victory over Allen. Grizzlies had 45 shots. Allen had 22. Then on Wednesday morning over in Texas, the Grizzlies had 47 shots and 51 in last night's game. So if you think about, the Grizzlies have had over 160 shots in their last 3 games. But, for the Grizzlies, it's not necessarily the quantity, but the quality of shots. And the Grizzlies have fired away quite often on Allen goaltender David Tendek over the last 3 games. But you got to hand it to the Allen goaltender. Of the 160-plus shots that the Grizzlies have had in the last 3 games, I think my current high math is actually failing me there. It's at least over 130 shots over a 3-game stretch. The Grizzlies have scored a total of 8 goals. 8 goals in 3 games with at least over 130 shots. So if you think about that, David Tendek, the Allen goaltender, has been outstanding. Goaltending matchup tonight's the same one we had yesterday. It's going to be Dylan Wells in net for the Grizzlies, and for Allen, it's going to be David Tendek. Well, the Grizzlies signed a player earlier today, and he'll be in the lineup tonight. We'll tell you who is on the other side. We'll also go over some of the team leaders for the Grizzlies as face-offs in about 15 minutes from now over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. I'm hanging out just outside the Grizzlies team store at Maverick Center. Remember, it's the last game of the road trip. Grizzlies will be at Maverick Center for a 3-game set next Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday against the 13-4 Atlanta Gladiators. We'll tell you who the Grizzlies signed on the other side and also go over some team leaders. We're in business on a Saturday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Earlier today, the Grizzlies signed forward Daniel Amesbury, who's a big guy at 6'1" and 220 pounds. Last year, he played with the Kansas City Mavericks, and in 33 games had 1 assist and 171 penalty minutes. Amesbury is an enforcer, and he is certainly world-renowned with his nickname Diamond Hands. 2 years ago with Fort Wayne, he had 52 penalty minutes in 13 games. He's actually banned from the Federal League. He was part of the Federal League's Danbury Hat Tricks, who won a championship in 2023. That year, he had 298 penalty minutes in 29 games, and in 5 playoff games had 1 goal and 47 penalty minutes. He had been playing lacrosse, and Amesbury, the 35-year-old, joins the Grizzlies today, and quite frankly, that's kind of what the Grizzlies needed. Utah is a fast team, but they're a little bit more on the smaller side, and with Amesbury, he certainly fills a need. And with the Grizzlies, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily one particular opponent, but there have been teams that seem to I feel like they can take liberties on the Grizzlies physically, and for a guy like Amesbury, other opposing teams are going to have to answer the call with his fists, and Amesbury is one of the best at what he does, and he joins the Grizzlies, and he will wear number 27 for John Buchanan's crew tonight, as the Grizzlies will go with 12 forwards and 6 defensemen, as Amesbury replaces Kabori Dunn in the Grizzlies lineup, as Utah we'll have Amesbury on a forward line with John Gillette and Evan Friesen. So that should be a ton of fun to see Daniel Amesbury making his Grizzlies debut. It's the 3rd different team in this league that he's played on. He also played for the Tulsa Oilers back when they were in the CHL, and that was in the 2012-2013 season. Well, there have been some great individual performers for the Grizzlies over the last few weeks. How about Jack Ricketts? He's on a current 6-game point scoring streak as he had 1 assist in the 3rd period last night. And Ricketts has just been outstanding for the Grizzlies. He has 9 points, 3 goals, and 6 assists in his last 6 games. Ricketts is tied with Danny Genea for the club lead with 16 points. Ricketts has 8 goals and 8 assists, and Genea has 5 goals and 11 assists. Neil Shea's got a point in 9 of his last 11 games. He did not get a point in last night's game, but watch out for him on the power play. Does lead the Grizzlies with 3 power play goals on the year. Reed Lepster leads Utah with 9 goals, and he has 3 game winners, including last Saturday against the Allen Americans, and that was a 3-2 victory at Maverick Center. Lepster has 2 shorthanded goals this season, so watch out for him when the opposing team is on the power play. And how about Hayden Hansen-Bukata? He picked up an assist in last night's game. AHB leads all Grizzly defensemen with 10 assists on the season. And really, it goes beyond the players who have done it statistically. There's been a lot of guys who have gotten the job done away from the puck. If you think about Griffin Ness, he's a guy that's been tough to play against. Ness has been outstanding in the last 2 Saturdays where he scored 3 goals. Ness has 4 goals in his last 6 games as he had 1 goal and 1 assist last night. He has 3 multiple-point games on the season. But really, you can't forget about Danny Genea, and he leads the Grizzlies in a ton of statistical categories. Genea leads Utah with 69 shots on goal. He also leads Utah with 11 assists. He had 2 assists last night. He leads Utah with 4 multiple-point games. And he is also tied for 3rd among league rookies with 16 points, and he has a point in 8 of his last 10 games. So watch out for Danny Genea. He's been outstanding for the Grizzlies as of late. He'll be one of 12 forwards for John Buchanan's crew this evening. When we come back in a couple minutes, we will go over the lineups for both teams. We're in business on a Saturday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. We're going to have a ton of fun this evening as the Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans. Are looking to salvage the third game of the Texas portion of this massive six-game two-city series. 3-game set over at Maverick Center. And Utah won one of those 3 games, and Allen won each of the first 2 games this week over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It was a 3-2 Allen victory on Wednesday and 6-3 last night. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who are led by first-year head coach John Buchanan. The traveling assistant coach is Ryan Anderson. Jack Skilley is assistant coach and director of skill development. Utah is going to go with Dylan Wells in net. He's got a record of 4-5-2. He has 1 shutout, which came on October 24th. He also has a 3.64 goals against average and 882 save percentage. The starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies includes Christian Felton, who in 20 games has 2 goals and 4 assists. And he's going to be paired up with Sage Weinstein, the 20-year-old fresh out of the WHL. In 15 games, he has 1 assist. Weinstein's got an NHL deal with the Colorado Avalanche. So that's the starting defensive pairing, Weinstein and Felton. We will also see Colby Enns, who has 2 goals in his last 3 games. He's paired up with Luke Salem. And Avery Winslow is going to be paired up with Aiden Hansen-Bukata. Winslow's in his 7th game this season. He returned on Wednesday after he missed a month due to an upper body injury. So that should be an interesting one. And watch out for Aiden Hansen-Bukata. He has 5 power play assists on the season. So that's the 6 defensemen for the Grizzlies tonight. The defensive scratches include Noah Gansky and Kabori Dunn. So that's the defensive lineup for the Grizzlies. The starters are Weinstein and Felton. Getting the start at forward for the Grizzlies is Daniel Amesbury. Diamond Hands making his Grizzlies debut. He is 6'1" and 222 pounds. This is the 3rd different team that he's played on. He appeared in 13 games with the 23-24 Fort Wayne Comets, and last year he played in 33 games with the Kansas City Mavericks, including a few against the Grizzlies. He'll be wearing number 27 tonight. He's in the lineup along with Evan Friesen, who has 2 goals and 3 assists in 20 games, and John Gillette, the rookie out of Holy Cross, who has 2 goals and 3 assists in 20 games. So that's the starting forwards again, Friesen, along with Amesbury and John Gillette. The other forwards for the Grizzlies, from left to right, the top forward line, according to the lineup sheet that John Buchanan handed out, includes Danny Genev with Griffin Ness and Stepan Timofeyev. Genev leads the Grizzlies in many statistical categories, including assists with 11, shots on goal with 69, and he is also tied with Jack Ricketts for the club lead with 16 points. Griffin Ness has 4 goals in his last 6 games, and Stepan Timofeyev has 3 goals and 5 assists in the Grizzlies uniform this season. So that's going to be the top forward line. The second forward line is going to be Gillette, Friesen, and Amesbury. They're the ones that are going to get the start. The third forward line includes Christoph Filion, who scored a third period goal, 8:31 in, as he redirected an Aiden Hansen-Bukata shot. Jack Ricketts has 8 goals and 8 assists. He's got a current 6-game point scoring streak, and Maxim Barbashev has 2 assists in 4 games. And Barbashev will be in there, and that's going to be a forward line of Filion, Ricketts, and Barbashev. And we also see the forward line of Neil Shea with Luke Manning and Reed Webster. And watch out for Shea. He's got 26 shots on goal in 5 games against the Americans this year. My pick to click is Luke Manning. Manning, in his second full season as a pro, he played his college hockey at Air Force and St. Thomas. And who's your pick to click? Who's going to be the player of the game for the Grizzlies? Watch out for Reed Webster. He's got 9 goals and 4 assists in 20 games. He has 2 goals against the Americans this season. So that's the Grizzlies lineup. The starting defensive pairing is Weinstein and Felton. Starting forwards are Friesen, Gillette, and Daniel Amesbury. For the homestanding Allen Americans, who are led by longtime head coach Steve Martinson, who won 4 championships with the Americans from 2013 through 2016, 2 of them in the CHL and 2 in this league, winning Kelly Cups in 2015 and 2016. Martinson is a former Salt Lake Golden Eagle, as he was part of the IHL for many years and also spent many years in the American Hockey League. He played in 32 games with the Golden Eagles back in the 1984-85 season. Getting the start in net's going to be David Tendek. He's certainly been busy over the last couple games. He saved 48 of 51 in last night's Allen 6-3 victory. The backup goaltender is an emergency backup named John Bookas, Bookas. And if he enters the game, we certainly have quite the story. The starting defensive pairing for the Allen Americans include Braden Simmons-Fisher, who's wearing number 6. And he's going to be paired up with Troy Murray, who's wearing number 28. Remember Murray got in a fight with Christian Felton last week at Maverick Center. So Simmons, Fisher, and Murray are the starting defensive pairing. Colton Hargrove gets a start in his 500th professional game, his 92nd as an American. Colton Hargrove, a former draft pick of the Boston Bruins. He'll be in there with Danny Caddick, who split time with the Americans in the AHL's Belleville Senators. And Colby McCauley is also going to be in the starting lineup. He has 3 goals in 11 games. Allen had a very balanced scoring attack in last night's game. It was a 6-3 final. Not many players had a multiple-point game. They got goals from 6 different skaters. On Wednesday, it was Hank Crone who scored all 3 of the American goals, and it was pretty clear he was the number 1 star. Last night, it was just about everybody contributing to the Americans' attack. Well, for the Grizzlies, they haven't had any trouble getting shots off. In fact, Utah is now 5th in the league in shots per game at 32.6. And the Grizzlies have 201 shots in 5 games against the Americans this year. So they're going to get their looks on David Tendek. Can they find a way to convert and capitalize on him and score more than the Americans to find a way to get the 3rd game of the series? Remember, next week, the Grizzlies are going to be at Maverick Center for a 3-game set on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday against the Atlanta Gladiators. When we come back, we'll have face-off over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. I'm Tyson Whiting. You've been tuned into the pregame report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier. BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Dash, official mobile auction platform. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider. Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner. Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider. Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner. And Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
It's a great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans in the last of a 6-game, 2-city series. Utah won 1 out of 3 games last week at Maverick Center, and Utah's looking to salvage the 3rd game of this set over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. But the Grizzlies, they've had plenty of good scoring chances. They've scored either 2 or 3 goals in every game. There's been 2 different games where they've scored 3 goals against the Americans in this a long set, and they've also had 3 games where they've scored 2 goals. As Grizzlies will start out with a forward line of Evan Friesen, John Gillette, and Daniel Amesbury. And that's right, if you joined us late, Diamond Hands Daniel Amesbury signed with the Grizzlies earlier today. And the defensive pairing is going to be Christian Felton and Sage Weinstein, and Dylan Wells, the former Allen American, will get the start in net. I wonder, Troy Murray's the guy that fought Christian Felton last week. Murray's the guy that likes to mix it up. I wonder if at some point tonight, if Troy Murray gets after it with Daniel Amesbury, and it wouldn't surprise me if it happens in this very first shift of the game. Steve Martinson likes to set a physical tone, the Allen head coach, and I think that's the specific reason as to why Troy Murray is in the starting lineup. We'll see if I'm right. Most of the time when you predict or try to predict something physical happening, it usually never does. Grizzlies are wearing a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. Allen's in a white jersey, red numbers, navy blue lettering. Puck goes all the way deep into Simmons Fisher in the American zone, and we're underway. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports, and Allen from right to left. Hargrove, rink wide feed angle right, goes tape to tape towards Caddick, who gets pushed towards the right corner. As John Gillette gets the puck wearing number 24, he gets hit along the boards. The Grizzlies will tap it off the wall. Amesbury near the Allen bench, but the Americans left wing. Hargrove drives it in. Wells behind his net has a kick off his skate. Hargrove tried to skate in, but it's tapped away by Weinstein. Left point, Troy Murray dancing around. He takes a lefty shot and it's blocked. Puck goes back to neutral ice. The Americans will reset in their own zone. As we played about 45 seconds in, Allen will lift it in. Weinstein gets it off the boards as he will stop on a dime. He pivots. Now Weinstein will get pushed along the boards. Action still deep in the Grizzlies zone as Amesbury battles with Murray for the puck. As taking it is Christoph Filion as Amesbury comes off the ice after his first shift as a Grizzly. As a collision with Braden Simmons Fisher and Christoph Filion. Puck goes into the Grizzly zone. It ricochets off the backboard. Utah boxes out Allen for the puck as an American lost his stick towards the left corner. As over towards Sam Sedley feeds it across. Andre Anania, number 86, will fire a lefty shot. Glove and saved by Wells as he just crowded about waist high near the Grizzlies logo at the front of his jersey. And he stops play with 18:38 left in the first. So we get our first whistle as the Allen Americans talk things over. Not sure what the saying is on the front of their jersey. It looks like some sort of specialty jersey. It's not quite like the jersey they normally have, but they usually have a pretty sharp look. Jack Ricketts has a point in 6 straight games. He'll take the draw against Asachuk. Asachuk wins the faceoff. Allen skates towards the left wing boards. Lefty shot saved by Wells. He holds on with 18:33 left in the first. I think it's one of their big sponsors that's in the front of the Allen Americans jersey as they're sponsoring the night. First Saturday in the month of December. Draw taken and won by the Grizzlies as they throw it up and not out as Allen kept it in the offensive zone. Puck towards the near corner. Grizzly gets pushed. Anania joins the play. Ricketts nearby as it's tapped away by Allen's Harrison Blaisdell. Skates towards the right corner. Blaisdell skates around Utah's net as he'll feed it back to Braden Watts. Up top, Sedley moves it across. Anania, one-timer, and that one goes wide as it ricochets off Utah's backboards. As the Grizzlies nudge it ahead, as Filion gets knifed away. Now the puck slides into the American zone. Sedley gets there 2 strides ahead of Filion. Sam Sedley's a pretty good player, second-year pro, who played a little bit in the AHL with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms last year. Americans dump it in, and they will hit the reset button as the Grizzlies get it towards Lepster, taps off his stick. Now the Americans move it back to center ice. Hank Krohn, number 67, gets head towards Krohn. As Krohn gets in the left goal line, he falls down. He was nearby Salem. Arm is raised by the referee, and I believe Salem's going to get a tripping minor, and Allen will go on the power play with 17:39 left in the first. Well, it looked like Krohn was chasing after a loose puck over in the left goal line, and Salem tripped him up. So it's going to be a power play for the Americans. Allen is 14.1% on the power play. Grizzlies' penalty kill is 81%. As they show Colton Hargrove, it's his 500th professional game, and I imagine on the video board over in Allen, they are acknowledging the fact that it is his 500th game as they show him on the video board, and everybody taps their stick along the boards. As Allen wins the draw, still no score, 2.5 minutes in. Allen's on the power play. Grizzlies tapping out to center ice. Utah races over the offensive line. Luke Manning skates around an American. They'll take a lefty shot, and it goes just wide. Manning gets it back, and he'll skate towards neutral ice, surrounded by 2 Americans. Allen does have 13 players from Canada, as Weinstein will bounce it. Now Lepster gets these skates down the middle, take a righty shot, and that one's blocked away by Tendek, as Lepster looking for his 3rd shorthanded goal this season. As Utah with a couple good looks shorthanded. Allen skates over the offensive line. They get around Weinstein. Now right side, Allen feeds out in front. Lefty shot saved by Wells. Puck goes to the right point and all the way out to center ice as Allen couldn't reach it. 45 seconds into Allen's power play. They enter from the left wing. As Karan, lefty shot saved by Wells. Puck goes towards the left corner. Now up top. Allen gets it to Sedley. They'll move it back towards Watts. He's in the left circle. Take a lefty shot, and it goes wide as he was looking for Anania to redirect it. Now the Grizzlies at the near goal line will race along the wings. Utah will sprint out to center ice. Now trying to accelerate to Hanson Buchanan. He'll drop it for Barbashev. Barbashev's shots blocked over in the right circle as the Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the first period. Friesen skates towards the corner, gets around 1 American before losing control of the puck. As the Americans still in their own zone. As there's 37 seconds left in the penalty kill. Grizzlies were a perfect 3 for 3 on the penalty kill last night. As Hargrove gets around 1 Grizzly before losing control of the puck. Weinstein clears it all the way out. So the Americans with 20 seconds left in the power play. We played 4 minutes, still no score. Anania drops it off. Now to the middle of the ice for Krohn. Steps over the offensive blue, gets to Caddick. He'll skate towards the left corner as he gets pushed along the boards. Krohn wings it around. Puck goes to the right point, and it's kept in by Anania. Now he loses control of the puck, and the Grizzlies clear it as Salem comes out of the box. And Utah is 1 for 1 on the penalty kill tonight, as there's still no score, 4.5 minutes in. The Americans still back deep in their own zone. We're just getting started, so grab some chips and dip and a beverage of your choice and enjoy part of Saturday with us. As McCauley will throw it behind his net as the Americans spread the ice. Allen a little bit more methodical with their approach here tonight. Over to McCauley. He gets to the Utah line, and he'll sprint it in. And he chases after it. As Americans over to the right point, they keep it in. Shots blocked. Now the Grizzlies get it ahead. As the puck slides towards Tendek, who outlets it to center ice. It ricochets off the far boards. As Allen collides with a Grizzly near Utah's bench. As we played 5 minutes, Utah rink-wide feed angle right. Goes off a Filion's stick as he tried to get towards Allen ice. Now the Grizzlies will skate along the left wing boards out to center ice, and they'll drive it in. Filion chasing after it over in the right corner. Getting there first was Malik Johnson, number 76. And now Brad Morrison, 77, gets to the right side, and Allen will backhand it in. Wells behind his net, gets it towards Shea. He'll drop it back as Lepster crosses center ice down the middle. Now he'll chip it to his left for Shea. Across to the offensive zone. Shea's got 26 shots in 5 games against Allen this year. Salem make that Manning will bounce it off an American. as Salem sidesteps Simmons Fisher. It's taking us Brad Morrison. We played about 6 minutes. Allen will hike it out towards center ice. And Morrison dumps it in, or make that Malik Johnson, number 76. Unfortunately, we are at the mercy of this one video feed that we've got from Flow Sports. As Grizzlies cross center ice, Manning drops it off as Grizzlies nail Shea, fires towards the net, and it misses wide as it taps off the glass. Felton, before he gets to the corner, gets cut off by Simmons Fisher. Puck along the wall towards the left wing as Weinstein one-hands it towards Shea. An American cuts in front of Shea, and Allen will carry it towards center ice. Now they slice one angle left as Braden Simmons Fisher's had a good set. He'll drop it off to the left wing. Shots blocked as the puck goes towards the left corner. We played 6.5 minutes. Still no score. As up top, Anania. He walks down the middle of the ice. It's like a lefty shot. A blocker saved by Wells, or it might have gone over his right shoulder and tapped off the glass. As the Americans dance around. As Allen gets it back towards Caddick. He's over in the far corner. He gets held up by Felton. Now the Americans race out to center ice. Allen back defensively, crossing the center red line and chipping it in as Lebster leads Utah with 9 goals this season. Puck is there's a stick lane over on the right side. Lebster fires a tough angled shot that misses wide. And the puck ricochets off the boards. Hanson Bucata chases after it. He'll get it across to Winslow. And Winslow back towards center ice, trying to get Genev to redirect it off his stick. As Genev chases after the puck, it's deep into the American zone. Scrum along the corner. Allen will fly it out, but they flew it up but not out. Stayed in the left point by the Grizzlies. As Allen has the puck as they'll move it out towards the left wing. Allen crosses center ice. Anania drives it in. Puck goes towards the right corner. Allen reverses it back towards Crone, who hits a Grizzly in the back behind Utah's net. Ends with the puck. He'll slice it at about 10 feet. Ness will push it to his left, and the Grizzlies will work their way in. Genev trying to get to Ness, and Allen took it away. Americans Michael Gildon trying to get it towards Crone. It's tapped away by a Grizzly stick, and that was, I believe, Luke Salem, number 6. As Morrison walks down the middle, as he gets back checked by Colby Ends. As Genev gets the puck, we played 8 minutes, still no score. As Ness drives it in. And the Americans back deep in their own zone. As Brad Morrison will bounce one out towards center ice. And the puck goes deep into the Grizzly zone. Utah gets it off the far wall. As Luke Salem, he's been busy so far. He has 4 assists in 19 games. Over to John Gillette. And even if Gillette was able to get a piece of it, he was in Grizzlies territory, icing on Utah with 11:27 left in the first. So still looking for the game's first goal. As they show some players from the Allen Americans bench. And for the Grizzlies, 12 forwards and 6 defensemen tonight. They signed Daniel Amesbury earlier today. Friesen will take the draw. And it's won by the Americans as Allen gets it towards the right point. As they try to fire towards the net, and it's blocked. And the puck goes all the way towards Allen Nice. As the Americans race down after it. A Grizzly crashes along the boards, chasing after the loose puck. And now the Americans, and I think that was Amesbury that actually crashed along the wall. As the Americans, Brad Morrison, as he gets flipped by Amesbury, and the puck gets cleared out to center ice. Now Amesbury, it looked like an American tried to take a left swing at Amesbury and missed as Amesbury skates off the ice after a productive shift, or certainly an interesting one. As the Americans back deep in their own zone, Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Felton gets the puck along the near boards, and he'll skide in as Braden Simmons Fisher chases after it. Simmons Fisher trying to locate it. Now he'll move it to the near corner. Allen gets it ahead about 20 feet as the Americans try to bounce one towards center ice. McCauley gets it back as he'll drop it off near the Americans bench. Now the Americans backing out into their own zone. As play's been a little bit slow, both teams have been a little bit more methodical with their approach. As Jackson Decker, number 21, takes a deep breath behind Tendek's net. Now Decker will move it to his left. Americans cross center ice as Allen, Harrison Blaisdell, before he gets to the corner, steers it back up top. Decker fires towards the net, and it's blocked by the glove of Luke Manning. Grizzlies ahead. Shea chases after the puck over in the left corner. He gets it, drops it back for, I believe, Griffin Ness. Over to Manning. He's over in the left goal line. Manning gets double teamed, gets pushed along the boards. Lebster over in the area. As Lebster towards the corner, he gets double teamed now. Lebster tries a cycle and does towards Manning. as Luke Manning trying to chip it out in front, looking for Hanson Bukata. Instead, Manning keeps the puck, skates towards the corner, now drops it back for Shea. Now Neil Shea will get it up top, right side. Ends fires towards the net, it misses wide. Puck slides towards the left corner. Allen will move it up and on out. Kept in by Hanson Bukata. Down the middle of the ice, backhand shot, and that one's blocked away by Tendek. Tendek's glove side is his right, his stick side's his left. Now it's the left wing, lefty shot, and a score! Grizzlies get on the board with 9:20 left as Utah takes a 1-0 lead as they score from the left wing. And it's Webster that fed the pass and gained the goals. Aiden Hanson Bukata saved that puck. DJ McFarland, as Hanson Bukata, who has 10 assists on the year, gets his first pro goal. Boy, a great time for it as Utah draws first blood here tonight. Webster's going to get his 5th assist this year, and Hanson Bukata, who's been an assist machine at the college level, and now Aiden Hanson Bukata gets his first pro goal. He becomes the 8th different Grizzly player to score his first pro goal this season. And half of them have been defensemen. It's Hanson Bukata's 19th pro game, or might be it's his 18th game as a Grizzly. He also had 1 game last season with the AHL Syracuse Crunch. So Webster's going to get the main assist. It might be Manning that gets the other assist, and AHB gets a GOAL for Utah. As action deep in the Grizzly zone, big scrum as Salem holds his ground. Winslow looking nearby Timofeyev. As Timofeyev loses his balance, now back up top, left circle. The Americans dance around. Anania with a lefty shot, and it goes wide, as well as hits the ice, and so does Winslow. As the Americans back towards the left wing near the boards, Anania's shot stick saved by Wells. An American goes down looking for the loose puck, and the Grizzlies clear it out to center. Americans chip it in. Wells behind his net, cuts it off. Wells will wing it towards the far corner. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Puck's moved back to center ice. Anania will float it back in. It's gloved and dropped by Wells. As Grizzlies and Americans both make a line change. As we have 8:08 on a moving clock first period. The Grizzlies lead 1-0. Utah out towards center ice. As they'll step over the offensive line right wing. As Gillette tried to backhand it towards Tendek and missed the net as it ricochets off the backboards. Gillette dancing around. Allen takes control of the puck. They'll bounce it out to center ice and beyond as Felton chases after it. And icing's going to be on the Americans with 7:43 left in the first. See if we can get some of the detail on the Utah goal, but the ECHL box score has been a little bit slow to update itself. It is Hanson Bukata getting his first pro goal, 10:40 into the first. Reed Webster and Luke Manning picked up the assists. So congratulations to Aiden Hanson Bukata, the 8th different Grizzly player to score his first pro goal. And he is the 4th defenseman to score his first pro goals. The Grizzlies do have a lot of first-year pros on the blue line. Christian Felton scored on October 19th in the second period against the Atlanta Gladiators. Connor Kelly on November 28th, and Colby Enns last Saturday against the Americans in the second period. And today, 10:40 into the first period, Aiden Hanson Bukata, who leads Grizzly defenseman with 10 assists, and this time he's on the receiving end of a good pass from Reed Webster, and Hanson Bukata converted from the left wing. As the Grizzlies in the offensive zone, Barbashev in the right point tried to fire towards the net, and the Americans collect the puck as they move it ahead. Asachuk over towards Watts, back to Asachuk, but he overskates it, and the Grizzlies will bounce one out to center ice. Utah gets it with Jack Ricketts. Toe drag, lefty shot, and that one's gloved by Tendek in front of the crease. He holds on with 7 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first. AHB gets a big goal for the Grizzlies early on as Utah has a 1-0 lead. 7:03 is the time remaining. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Utah leads 1-0 with 7:03 left in the first period as Aiden Hansen-Buchanan picked up his first pro goal as he scored from the left wing 10-40 in with Lebster and Manning getting the assists. For Luke Manning, he now has 7 assists on the year, and Reed Lebster, who's normally on the goal-scoring end of things, he has 5 assists on the year to go along with the team leading 9 goals. In terms of shots, Allen is out shooting Utah 7-3. Both teams seem to want to play a little bit more of a controlled style. Both teams have improved quite a bit defensively from last year. Grizzlies win the offensive zone draw as Gillette gets cut off as he was skating behind Allen's net. The Americans will bounce one to neutralize as Allen trying to get to the middle of the ice, and they do to Caddick. Caddick centering pass, shot, and that one bounced away as Grizzly was step for an American as they were cutting towards the net. Griffin Ness down the middle of the ice, dangles back and forth, skates towards the right side. Ness with a sharp angled shot, and he hits the side of the net. Ness has a goal in 4 of his last 6 games. Ness moves it across. It glanced off a Grizzly stick as Friesen gets pushed along the boards. Now a second Grizzly gets nudged in the back. 2-on-2 scrum as Ness and Enns look nearby along with a couple Americans. Now the puck goes back up top and out to neutralize. Grizzlies race into their own end as Wells stays in front of his net and he communicates with Hansen-Buchanan, who will drop it over for Colby Enns. 6:12 on a moving clock first period. Grizzlies out towards center ice, crossing the center red line, right wing, and dumping it in is Luke Manning. As Manning loses his stick, he tries to pick it up as he's surrounded by 2 Americans. Allen gets the puck as they'll race towards neutralize. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the first frame as we see it on Flow Sports. As Salem collides with Gildon. Grizzlies move it up ice as Manning will move it to the middle of the ice. Nobody home. An American plays it and backhands it to center ice. As the Americans skate over the offensive blue, Hank Crone wraps it around the boards. Gildon, the big forward. Allen's one of the bigger teams Utah will face all year. Americans get it up top. Dancing around to Anthony Costantini. His twin brother, Marco Costantini, is currently on the injured list, the Allen goaltender. As Anania over to Costantini, just outside the right circle, righty shot save, rebound shot saved by Wells as he makes 2 big saves. The Americans will race out towards the Grizzlies race out to neutralize. Spinning around to Salem, and the Grizzlies are offside with 5:11 left in the first. It's the Grizzlies 1 and the Americans nothing. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
5 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first period. Allen is out shooting Utah 7-3. Aiden Hansen-Buchanan, 1 goal and 1 shot. Luke Manning and Jack Ricketts have the other shots for the Grizzlies. So Dylan Wells, he's been busy so far as he has saved all 7 he has seen. Only 1 penalty so far. Luke Salem got a tripping minor, 2:21 in. Grizzlies were successful on the penalty kill. Griffin Ness will take the draw, and we do apologize. We're not as descriptive as we'd like to be, as unfortunately we are at the mercy of the video feed that we're giving, so we're just trying to do the best with what we have. Out to neutralize, Ness dumps it in. As the Grizzlies move from left to right as we see it on Flow Sports. Ness, right point. He fires a righty shot and a score! I don't know if I got redirected, but Utah takes a 2-0 lead. Everybody talking it over in the Grizzlies celebration pile. As Timofeyev was in the area, he might have redirected it as the Grizzlies have scored the first 2 goals here tonight. Well, it looked like it was redirected about 5 feet in front of the crease, and if it's Timofeyev, it is his 5th goal of the year. The off-ice officials and Allen might take an extra look at it to make sure they get the correct goal score, as the Grizzlies been buzzing here so far. And with that, the Americans taking a little bit of time before the upcoming face-off, as Griffin Ness is definitely going to get a point. Whether it's a goal or an assist is yet to be determined, as Griffin Ness either gets his 6th goal or his 7th assist. It looked like on the one replay we saw that Timofeyev, it certainly looked like it bounced off a stick, and it might have been Timofeyev who was out in front. That's been a strong forward line for the Grizzlies here this week. The forward line of Ness, Genev, and Timofeyev. Allen has the puck deep in their own zone. Now they'll slice one out to center ice. Americans will drop it off and skate towards the right circle, dancing around, and they get it back towards, I believe, Anania. The Americans throw it towards the right corner. Grizzlies take it away. Filion gets hit in the side. Ricketts continues his battle as Allen over towards Warmoth. He's on the left side, gets around Barbashev, now stops, drops it, and Asachuk, he'll take a lefty shot. That one's blocked away. It might have been blocked before it got towards Wells. As the Americans out towards the right circle, lefty shot, and it goes wide as Wells stays in front of his net. Americans towards the left corner as they fake it to Anania. Skating towards the middle of the ice, Harrison Blaisdell angle right. He takes a lefty shot, and that one goes wide. Less than 4 minutes left in the first period. As Felton comes out of a pile, races. Now he accelerates towards neutral ice. Felton shields Allen from the puck, but the Americans on the back check take it away, and they'll float it in. Wells will kick it to the near corner. Grizzlies get it towards Felton. Felton will steer it towards the left point. It's kept in by Allen's Brad Morrison, who fired towards the net, and it didn't get towards Wells. As Utah towards the left corner. Felton wings it around as Ricketts gets hit in the back as Wells looks over his left shoulder. Grizzlies trying to break free of Allen as 2 Americans pin Utah to the boards. A Grizzly goes down. Puck goes to center ice. Ricketts gets around 1 American, loses his balance. Now he'll skate off the ice at the end of a shift as the Americans out to the right wing. As they get to Hank Crone. He steps over the offensive line onside. As he'll nudge it towards Hargrove. Now back to Crone, who feeds up top. Anania. And he gets it across. Sedley, righty shot. Glove saved by Wells. He holds on. 2:56 left in the first. It's been determined that Stepan Timofeyev redirected the Griffin Ness shot. So Timofeyev gets his 5th goal of the year. Griffin Ness does get an assist. He now has 7 on the season. Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Stepan Timofeyev of the Utah goals. It's Grizzlies 2, the Americans nothing. We're back in 1 minute on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
It's the Grizzlies 2 and the Americans nothing. Last of 6 straight against the Allen Americans. We're certainly looking forward to next week's homestand at Maverick Center as the Atlanta Gladiators will be in town. Atlanta's been red hot this year. They are 13-4. And for the Grizzlies, a big 3-game series, and it's a tough test. They're taking on the Atlanta Gladiators. Make sure to get your tickets, UtahGrizzlies.com, and in particular, join us next Saturday for the Grizzlies' final teddy bear toss. Utah had over 5,300 teddy bears last season, which broke a team record, and they're looking to break it once again. Webster floats it out to center ice, as chasing after it was, I believe, Luke Manning. As the Americans cross center ice, they step over the offensive blue. Allen avoids a check towards the right corner. Colby ends with a good back check, if you will, towards an American as he just kind of leaned his back as the American was skating towards him. Behind the net, Allen gets knocked down as the shot was taken by Anania from the left point. Karan gets it back in as Gildon will move it to his right. Now the Americans find a cutting Karan. He gets on the 4. He gets forechecked by Hansen-Bukata. as the Americans get it back up top. As Allen, very patient with their approach here tonight. Hanson Buchanan takes it behind Wells' net, and he'll move it out to center ice. Hanson Buchanan has got to be thrilled after scoring his first pro goal. Webster gets a loose puck. He's in the right corner of the American zone. He gets double-teamed and knocked down. Shade to the right side up top. Dancing, skating in. Lefty shot. Saved by Tendek. Shot was taken by Luke Salem, who's looking for his first goal of the year. It was gloved by Tendek about waist high. He holds on with 1:52 left in the first. As Anania kind of slow to skate towards the bench. Andre Anania in his second year as a pro. Played with Savannah last year. Colton Hargrove, sporting a beard. He's playing in his 500th pro game. I believe the saying in jersey that they're wearing is in honor of a big sponsor that the Americans have this season. Allen wins the draw. They get towards center ice. The Americans will drive it in towards the left corner. Winslow gets double team chasing after a loose puck. And now it wings around to the right point. Allen keeps it in. They fire it back in deep as well as looks over his left shoulder. Battle behind the Grizzlies net as Allen gets it back up top. Dancing around. Shoulder fakes as Murray. He'll move it to his right point. Righty shot saved by Wells. Puck is laying in front of the crease. It's cleared towards the corner by Timofeyev, and Utah will ice it. The linesmen raise their right arm as there's 1:20 left in the first period. Utah leads 2-0. It's kind of interesting. The Grizzlies over the last couple of games had a combined 92 shots. Well, tonight it looks like the Grizzlies are playing a lot more of a slowed down control type of game. And as a result, even though the Grizzlies have only taken 3 shots, let's see if we can get an update. Grizzlies are up to 5 shots. 2 of them have found the back of the net. It's Allen that's outshot Utah 12-5 here in the first period. We joke sometimes that sometimes the formula for victory is to allow your team to take twice as many shots as you do because you're playing a little bit more of a controlled game. Your 22 shots might mean more than the other team's 45. Right side righty shot, and that one's blocked. Might have gotten a piece of Wells. We need one of those Fox scoring pucks at times to figure out exactly where it is. As Grizzlies skate down the middle, Genev tried to get around an American, and Allen kind of drove him towards the end boards and spun him around. Now Genev gets hit in the back as the Grizzlies in the offensive zone. Battle along the near wing boards. Timofeyev, he trying to get to Genev. It's knifed away by the Americans as Genev gets hit in the back once and twice. Hey, you don't want to mess with him. He may be a small guy. Genev's as tough as it comes. Icing on the Americans with 44 seconds left in the first. So Utah will have an offensive zone draw. Checking to see, the box score, unfortunately, has been a little bit late in determining who scores goals. Looks like right now, and I'm not sure if the box score's got a glitch or not, but it right now has Ness is scoring Utah's second goal. I'm pretty sure they're taking a good long look at it. It certainly looked like it got redirected by Stepan Timofeyev. Looks like the box score and whoever's running it's having some technical difficulties. Right now, it looks like they've switched it to Griffin Ness, but we'll obviously check on that later. It certainly looked like Timofeyev got a piece of Utah's second goal. Ricketts will crouch down, taking the draw against Asachuk, but it's the longtime American Spencer Asachuk that wins the draw. As the Americans will slice it deep into the Grizzlies zone. Utah chasing after it. Allen gets the puck. As they dangle over in the right corner of the offensive zone. As Allen gets it back up top. Sadly over to Anania. Left side, he'll take a lefty shot, and that's blocked as Ricketts was in the area with an American. Now back, wraparound shot, saved by Wells. And he holds on. Boy, Allen had a pretty good wraparound look, and I believe that's Michael Gildon, number 91. And Gildon had a pretty good look looking as he was trying to get a 7th goal of the year. He was battling with Ricketts, and Wells was able to close the door and stop play with 18.9 seconds left. Weinstein and Crone having some fun. They're exchanging a few words. Crone's one of those guys, he'll get at you verbally. Crone likes to do a little bit of talking from time to time. Manning will crouch down low and take the draw against Gildon in the right circle. Manning's got an A on his black sweater, and so does Neil Shea. Captain Tyler Gratton's out for the 5th straight game. And the drop kind of stays in the circle for a little bit as it bounces off a couple sticks, and the Grizzlies will move it out to center ice, but Allen collects it at their blue line. Americans will tattoo it off the boards. Colby Enns gets held up along the wall. Enns been outstanding for the Grizzlies. He leads Grizzly defensemen with a +3 rating. At the end of the first period, Allen dumps it in, and that will do it for 20 minutes over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Grizzlies got goals from Aiden Hanson-Bukata, and we believe Stepan Timofeyev. Hanson Buchanan scored 10:40 in. It was his first pro goal, with Webster and Manning getting the assists. And even though Allen outshot Utah 14-5 in the first period, it's the Grizzlies that have a 2-0 lead. Right now, it looks like there's a little bit of a glitch on the second Grizzly goal. It certainly looked like on the one replay we saw that Stepan Timofeyev redirected a Griffin Ness shot, 15:06 in. Right now, they've got Ness listed as the goal scorer, but obviously that's still to be determined. Either way, it's a 2-0 Grizzlies lead after 20 minutes of play. When we come back, we'll recap the first frame, and we'll also go over some scores from around the world of sports. It's the Grizzlies 2 and the Americans 0. We're back in 2 minutes on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Well, after one period over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, it's the Grizzlies 2 and the Americans 0. And even though Allen has outshot Utah 14-5, Grizzlies got a first period goal from Aiden Hanson Buchanan, 10:40 in. It's his first pro goal. Reed Webster and Luke Manning picked up the assists. And it looks like they're having some difficulties with the box score over in the ECHL app, as Stepan Timofeyev redirected a Griffin Ness shot, 15:06, and there probably could be a second assist award to a Grizzly somewhere, but nevertheless, Utah took a 2-0 lead as Timofeyev redirected the Griffin Ness shot. Timo now has 5 goals on the season and 4 as a Grizzly. Remember, he had 1 goal in the first weekend of the season with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. For Griffin Ness, he had 1 goal and 1 assist last night, and he picks up his 7th assist of the year. We're not sure who would get the other assist, but Utah leads 2-0, and even though they've only taken 5 shots, they've certainly made them count. Of the 5 shots Utah has, nobody has more than 1 so far. Hanson Buchanan and Timofeyev with 1 goal each. Jack Ricketts, Luke Manning, and Luke Salem each have 1 shot. And for the Americans, 14 shots in the first period. Andre Anania leads the way with 4 shots. Thomas Caron and Michael Gildon each have 2, and then 6 other Americans with 1 shot through 20 minutes of play. So pretty good start for the Grizzlies. And it's kind of interesting. Both teams seem to be pretty patient with their approach so far. Allen is 0 for 1 on the power play. Luke Salem got a tripping minor, 2:21 in. Grizzlies have yet to go on the power play. Looks like a pretty good Saturday night crowd over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. We want to see a big crowd at Maverick Center next week for the big 3-game series against the Atlanta Gladiators. When we come back, we'll go over some other league scores. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Grizzlies lead the Americans 2-0 after 20 minutes of play. Other action in the league, Adirondack gets a 2-1 victory over Maine. Looks like Greenville's wrapping up a 5-2 victory over South Carolina. Goals by 5 different Swamp Rabbits. Cooley and Funk have the goals for South Carolina in the loss. After 2 periods, Cincinnati leads Indy 5-0. That's 5 goals on 16 shots for the Cyclones. Cincinnati's 10-8-1 on the year. Indy is 9-7-2-1. After 40 minutes of play, Reading leads Worcester 4-1. Former Grizzly forward Nathan Burke has one of the goals for the Reading Royals. After 2 periods, Orlando leads Savannah 3-1. And how about Orlando? They were 1-12 at one point this season. They have won 4 in a row, and they're looking to make it 5 in a row. They've got a 3-1 lead on the road at Savannah. Guy Krenz and Jared Youngman's Atlanta Gladiators are tied at 3 with the Jacksonville Icemen. That's the second of a 3-game series. Remember, Atlanta is going to be at Maverick Center next week for a 3-game set. Lind, McNamee, and Burns have the Atlanta goals, and the 3 different Jacksonville players have goals on their side. After 2 periods, Florida leads Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals 3-2. Former Grizzly Kyle Betts has a goal for the Everblades. That's the second straight game where Betts has registered a goal. Former Grizzly Taryn Pfizer has 1 assist for Florida. And the Everblades lead Norfolk 3-2 after 2 periods. Also after 2, actually this looks like Wichita leads Tulsa 1-0. Kyle Jeffers scored 14:47 into the second. Shots are pretty close to even. Wichita is 8-2-1 on the year, and Tulsa is 7-10. After 2 periods, Wheeling leads Greensboro 2-1. And what has gotten into Craig Armstrong, the former Grizzly, is on an incredible hot streak with the Wheeling Nailers. He had a 5-point game recently. Armstrong came into play tonight with, I believe, 10 points in his last 5 games. 3 goals and 7 assists his last 5 contests. He has a second period goal for the Wheeling Nailers. That was 12-16, and Wheeling leads Greensboro 2-1. Late in the second period, Fort Wayne has a 3-1 lead over the Toledo Walleye. Late first period, Bloomington leads Kalamazoo 1-0. Getting underway in about 20 minutes from now over at Idaho Central Arena. Trois Rivières takes on the Steelheads, and at 8 o'clock, so about an hour from now, Rapid City is at Tahoe. Rapid City is 9-2 on the year. Tahoe is 13-8-1. When we come back, we'll go over some NHL scores as well as some college football scores on this being Championship Saturday. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Busy night of action over in the National Hockey League. Earlier today, the Colorado Avalanche get a 3-2 overtime victory over the New York Rangers. Nathan McKinnon scored 2 goals, including the game winner, 2:46 into OT. Martin Necas had 3 assists. Kel McCarr also picked up an assist on the game winner as the Avalanche get a 3-2 victory over the New York Rangers. Avalanche outshot the Rangers 42-26. Second intermission, Bruins lead the Devils 2-1. Also after 2 periods, Canadians lead the Maple Leafs 1-0. That game is Hockey Night in Canada as Cole Caulfield got a power play goal, 8:25 into the second. Also after 2 periods, Blues lead the Senators 1-0. Just Jake Neighbors picked up his 7th of the year. No score early in the third period between the Islanders and Lightning. Charles-Edouard Dastu is among the Lightning skaters. And so far tonight, Dastu has 13 minutes, 31 seconds of action. He's played 15 shifts. He has 2 shots. He has 1 blocked shot as well. Dastu wearing number 51 for the Lightning tonight. And they are scoreless early in the third period. Also after 2 periods, Hurricanes lead the Predators 4-0. Getting underway in a few minutes, Blackhawks are at the Kings, and at 8 o'clock, the Jets are at the Oilers, and Wild are at the Canucks. Also at 8 o'clock, Red Wings are at the Seattle Kraken. One other final in the NHL other than the Avalanche game over the Rangers in overtime. How about this one? A high-scoring affair. Florida defeats Columbus 7-6. The overtime game winner was scored by Sam Bennett, 4:56 into overtime. So with just 4 seconds left in the extra session, Bennett got the game winner of Brad Marchand and Forsling getting the assist. So that's the NHL action tonight. One other game that's currently in progress. After 2 periods, the Flames lead the Utah Mammoth 1-0. Sharon Govich scored 16 seconds into the game, and right now that's a lone goal. Mammoth has outshot Calgary 20-14, but nobody for the Mammoth has found the back of the net. The lone goal was scored 16 seconds into the first period, and the Flames have somehow found a way to make it stick. Calgary 1, Utah 0. Big day in college football, as many conference championship games are going on today. In the Big 12 championship game, Texas Tech defeats BYU 34-7. Texas Tech goes to 12-1 on the year. BYU 11-2. Texas Tech is playoff bound, and for BYU, their playoff bubble has been burst, and they'll find out tomorrow which bowl game they'll be in. In the SEC championship game, the Georgia Bulldogs defeat the Alabama Crimson Tide. Final score there, Georgia 28, Alabama 7. In the MAC championship game, Western Michigan defeats Miami of Ohio 23-13. Late first quarter, Indiana leads Ohio State 3-0. That's the Big Ten championship game. And in the ACC championship game, they're just starting out the second quarter as Duke leads Virginia 7-0. And there's kind of an odd, I guess, thing that could happen if Duke wins the ACC championship game is that it's possible that the ACC gets 0 teams in the college football playoff. There's a little bit of a loophole there to where if Duke wins, the ACC might not get a single bid into the college football playoffs. So that's the scores from around the world of sports. When we come back, we will have second period action as Utah leads 2-0 as they got first period goals from Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Stepan Timofeyev. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Remember, the Grizzlies will have 5 home games in the month of December. A 3-game set against the Atlanta Gladiators next week, next Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And obviously next Saturday is the Teddy Bear Toss. And then the Idaho Steelheads will be in town the first 2 days after Christmas, Friday, December 26th, and Saturday, December 27th. Both games will be 7-10 face-offs. And that's the 5 home games in the month of December. The Grizzlies have 4 more road games in the 2025 calendar year. After the Atlanta series, the Grizzlies will be on the road December 19th and 20th against the Kansas City Mavericks. And the final game before our Christmas break will be on Sunday, December 21st. It's going to be the Grizzlies' final regular season game at Tulsa's BOK Center. Don't forget, in the second half of the season, the Grizzlies are going to be home quite a bit. They will have a 3-game series on January 16th through the 18th against the Kansas City Mavericks. The Greenville Swamp Rabbits and Keaton Mastrodonado will be in town January 28th, 30th, and 31st. The Bloomington Bison will be in town for a 3-game set February 13th and 14th at 7 o'clock, and Monday, February 16th at 3 p.m. The Tahoe Night Monsters will be in for a 3-game series February 25th, 27th, and 28th. And then the Tulsa Oilers will be in town 2 weeks from then, March 12th, 14th, and 15th. And the Grizzlies will be home for the final 8 games of the regular season. 2 against Allen on March 26th and 29th, and then 3 against Wichita in early April. And the final homestand of the regular season will see the Rapid City Rush in town on April 8th, 10th, and 11th. When we come back in 1 minute, we'll have second period action. Allen outshot Utah 14-5 in the first period, but it's the Grizzlies that have a 2-0 lead. You've been tuned in to the Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
So we're about set for second period action. Utah is 6-5-1 on the road, but that's certainly not unusual for road teams to have success in this league, as the league road teams in this league have a .519 winning percentage and a .622 point percentage. And obviously, with a point percentage, you take into account games you lose past regulation. Well, according to the ECHL box score, they'd originally given Stepan Timofeyev Utah's second goal, 15:06 in, but right now it's listed as Griffin Ness unassisted. We believe in the one replay we saw that Timofeyev redirected it, so we're going to kind of go with that unless we see a replay that says otherwise. But once again, congratulations to Aiden Hansen-Bukata for scoring his first pro goal, 10:40 into the first period. He's the 8th different Grizzly player to score his first pro goal this season. Hansen-Bukata leads all Grizzly defensemen with 10 assists. He is second on the club in assists, as Danny Genev had 2 assists last night, and he leads the club with 11 on the season. Grizzlies will start the second period with the forward line of Filion, Ricketts, and Barbashev. As the puck is dropped, we're underway for second period action. Grizzlies will skate from right to left as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports. We ask for a little bit of patience. Unfortunately, the numbers aren't popping off the screen the way they should. Allen with a centering pass out in front that's overled. As the Americans back towards the left circles, we're skating 5-on-5. Allen, righty shot saved by Wells. Everybody hacking away, and Wells covers up. Good job by Weinstein as the stick goes flipped high into the air. And Ricketts flexes his stick as it was warmest stick after the whistle. Just kind of spun and hung high into the air. Eventually it dropped. We get our first whistle 22 seconds into the second period. So draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Dylan Wells was busy in the first period. He saved all 14 he saw. Already 2 shots by the Americans in the second period. So it's a 16-5 edge in the shot count for the Americans over the Grizzlies. Hargrove will take the draw against Luke Manning. Hargrove in his 500th professional game. Utah wins the draw, and they'll tap it off the near wing boards. Neil Shea trying to locate it. He finds it new trice, and he'll spin it in. As Decker plays behind Allen's net. As the Americans get it towards Quinn Wormuth, the talented 6'4 defenseman. Wormuth scored an empty net goal last night, assisted by the goaltender Tendek. As the Americans playing a little bit of a slowdown game. Both teams kind of a little bit more methodical with their approach. They're not running and gunning at all. They're playing a controlled style. Allen dumps it in. Wells will throw it off the near wing boards. Grizzlies skate from right to left. Manning drops it for Shea. He crosses center ice left wing. Shea to Manning down the middle of the ice. He'll move it to his right. Does Manning towards Lebster along the boards. Manning gets double teamed as he tries to break free. And Allen comes out with the puck. The Americans over in the near corner, and they'll helicopter it all the way towards Dylan Wells. Grizzlies chase after it. No icing as it ended up in the crease. Wells covers up. And the draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone with 18:45 left in the second. As Utah still hasn't taken any shots so far in the second period. And Allen officially has 3 listed. And I think that one, since it ended up in the crease, is going to count as a shot. As Allen's up to 17. Spencer Asachuk will take the draw. As linesman, Michael Miggins. Actually, that's Aaron Schacht's number 51. Michael Miggins, number 47. Those are the 2 linesmen. Grant Hendrick is the referee. As a draw won by Allen, but it goes up top. Sedley with a backhand dish. It ricochets off the boards. As Lebster gets the puck, he'll tap it off the wall. Left wing. Genev gets it as he gets rammed in by his side by Blaisdell. Now Genev down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot. See, rebound shot goes wide as Genev had the first look. And it looked like Sage Weinstein had the second chance. Boy, 4 different Grizzly defensemen have scored their first pro goal this season. Maybe Weinstein's due for a big one, as Utah's already up 2-0. Grizzlies deep in their own zone. Weinstein gets the puck, the 20-year-old. Played in the WHL for many years. He'll get it out to center ice off a stick. And Timofeyev will bounce one in. Ness chases after it. Out of his net, Tendek will bounce to the corner as Simmons Fisher was battling with Ness. As the Americans out towards center ice, they try to get to the right wing for Caron. Grizzlies back in neutral ice off the boards as they looked for Ness, went past him. Genev gets a stick lifted at the Allen line. And now it looks like we got a couple bodies pinned. And it looks like Timofeyev as an Allen player. And Timofeyev kind of drags Allen by the jersey. The 2 linesmen separate. And it's Crone on the Allen side as linesmen separate Timofeyev and Crone. It looks like Crone's going to get a penalty, and so is Timofeyev. Crone having some words for Timo. Now Timo trying to get in his last couple verbs and adjectives. Now Crone skates towards Timofeyev, and whatever Crone said got Timofeyev a little bit fired up. Looks like both guys are going to the box as there's 17:46 left in the second period. Timofeyev gets his stick from the person that is kind of managing the door on the Grizzlies penalty box. And Crone's going to sit as well. So 2 minutes, both sides, probably matching roughing minors. As they show Crone in the penalty box. Timofeyev on the Utah side. So I imagine we're going to skate 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. As we're still early on in the second period, Utah looking to salvage the 3rd game of the set. Last week at Maverick Center, Allen won the first 2 games by identical 4-2 scores, and then Utah won 3-2 on the Reed Lebster game winner with 1:24 left in regulation. Hank Crone scored 3 goals on Kids Day this past Wednesday over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, and the Americans also won on Friday 6-3. So draws at center ice. Friesen will take it. And we're skating 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Winslow gets it back towards, I believe, Aiden Hansen-Bukata as he skates behind Utah's net. Grizzlies patient with their approach. Left wing feed out to Winslow. And he'll skate down the middle of the ice. Winslow drops it for Gillette on the right side. Gillette fires lefty shot. Saved by Tendek. He holds on. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw with 17:27 left in the second. Well, we know there's a lot of sports and entertainment options out there. We thank everybody who chose the Grizzlies tonight in their battle against the Allen Americans. We went over all the home games upcoming for the Grizzlies this season. before the start of the second period. We're certainly looking forward to the 3-game set against the Atlanta Gladiators. Atlanta's in the third period of their game against the Jacksonville Icemen. That game is tied at 3. Allen has the puck. They're deep in their own zone, skating from left to right. As the Grizzlies, we believe, have first period goals from Aiden Hansen-Buchanan and Stepan Timofeyev, even though the box score on the ECHL app right now has Griffin Ness as having scored Utah's second goal. As Grizzlies come out of the pile with the puck as they battled along the near wing boards, Grizzlies skate from right to left. Utah dance around in the left point. Backhand dish is off an Allen stick, and the Americans will move it out towards center ice. Now they'll back it out into their own end. Allen very patient here tonight. We're about halfway through the 4-on-4 as the Americans out to center ice. Now they'll slice one to the middle as the Americans enter from the left wing. They get around one Grizzly. Lefty shot, and that one goes wide as Felton spins around with an American. Now back up top. Sam Sedley drops out for Caddick. Now back over to the left point is Sedley. They'll backhand it towards the corner. Caddick dances around with Felton. Weinstein joins the play. Now another American pushes Weinstein, and that's Hargrove. Hargrove gets the puck. He gets pushed by Weinstein. Allen up top tries to dive to keep it in, but the puck goes out to center ice. Anna Neal will back it out into his own zone. He'll tattoo the near wing boards to Sedley, and Sedley will drop it off towards the right circle. Now puck bounces off the end boards. Allen over to the right side. They get the puck, and that's Braden Watts, number 29, last year's Americans' leading scorer. He had 53 points for the Americans last year. Left side, Allen whips it around the boards. Less than 10 seconds left in the 4-on-4, and Barbashev gets the puck, dangling back and forth. He tried to get to Ricketts. Ricketts got occupied by a couple Americans. Ricketts tried to lunge the puck towards the near corner. Timofeyev out of the box. He gets the puck to the right side. He fires the righty shot. Saved by Tendek. He holds on. Fresh out of the box. Timofeyev just raced towards the right circle. Puck ended up there. Timofeyev with a good look, and Tendek made the stop. The former Arizona Coyote draft pick holds on with 15:38 left in the second. Barbashev, he was net front, and if Tendek would have bobbled it even for half a second, Barbashev would have been there to collect the rebounds. That's going to be one of the big strengths for Maxime Barbashev is any rebound, any loose puck. He's one of those guys that can get those dirty, greasy goals out in front. Allen wins the draw as they're in their own zone as they race out towards neutral ice. Allen crosses the center red line. Now they step over the offensive blue as the Americans lose control of the puck, and that was Brad Morrison, number 77. Manning crosses the center ice. He got one assist tonight. Advances into the offensive zone. Skates towards the right corner. He gets blasted along the boards as the Americans will chip it out towards center ice. Allen bouncing puck. Hayden Hansen-Buchanan will nudge it ahead about 5 feet, and Shea will throw it in. Manning along the boards, trying to get it back towards Shea. Allen takes control. 2-on-2. Allen over the offensive line as Morrison tried to find Asachuk. Now glanced off a stick. Allen skates in. Lefty shot goes wide. They miss the net. Stick side on Wells. As the Americans back towards the right side, they try to curl it out in front. Too many sticks in the way. It hits the side of the net near side. As Utah out towards center ice looking for Shea. The Americans get it back. Allen towards center ice, and they'll whip it around the wall. Wells lets it go towards the corner. Shea off a stick. Now Allen down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot saved by Wells as he slid towards his left to make the stop. 14:32 left in the second. Draw's going to be in the Grizzly zone as Utah still has a 2-0 lead. If you joined us late, the Grizzlies earlier today signed Daniel Amesbury. He's wearing number 27. Haven't seen him out there much so far in this second period. As the Grizzlies are rolling the Shea, Manning, and Lepster line quite a bit here in the second period. And now we have Timofeyev, Ness, and Genev on the ice. And obviously with the 2 minutes worth of 4-on-4 action, Grizzlies were kind of working different combinations in that 2-minute span. Left point, shot goes wide as the Americans won the faceoff. Allen chips it behind Utah's net as Ness looking nearby with Colby McCauley. I make that Michael Gildon, number 91. Puck ends up towards the middle of the ice, and it's collected by Weinstein. As he'll spin one towards Genev. It goes behind him along the boards. Timofeyev out there with Genev, and Timo enters the zone. Left side gets to Genev. He's in the right circle. Backhand shot, and a score! Utah takes a 3-0 lead. Genev from the right circle backhanded it in. That's redirected by Griffin Ness. Ness gets the goal, and we believe that's his first tonight, and that gives him 6 on the season. And for Genev, he's going to get the main assist. He now has 12 on the year. So it's a 3-0 Utah lead. Danny Genev gets the job done once again. Well, he leads the Grizzlies in many statistical categories. Griffin Ness just collected the puck out in front of the crease and found his way. Found a way to get the puck past David Tendek. 13:59 left in the second. Utah leads 3-0. Puck at neutral ice. Allen has it. The Americans will backhand it in deep as Wells stays in front of his net. He directs traffic. Genev, well, he gets lit up in the right corner, gets back to his feet. Friesen over in the area. So is Luke Salem. As puck back up top. Right point. Righty shot. That one goes wide with a lot of traffic out in front of Wells. Puck towards the right corner. Grizzlies. Looked like John Gillette lost his stick. Now Gillette will try to join the play. Now Gillette plays soccer, kicking it towards Friesen. Gillette picks his stick up. Amesbury across the center ice. He'll float it in. Gillette chasing after it. Braden Simmons-Fisher. Well, Amesbury tried to light up Simmons-Fisher and got more Gillette than he did Fisher. Grizzlies back at their blue line reset. Hanson Bukata will move it ahead, but the Grizzlies were making a line change at the time, so Allen will accept it deep in their own end. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we see it on Flow Sports. Utah leads 3-0. Americans out towards center ice. They race into the Grizzlies zone. There's no icing on the plays. The American got around Utah and got there first. Puck towards the left corner. Ends in the area. So is Ricketts. Hanson Bukana gets physical with an American. Barbashev has sticked away. As the Americans back towards the right corner. As Utah has played some great hockey here tonight. Allen gets up top. Left point. They dance around now up top to Sedley. He gets around one Grizzly. Sedley with a righty shot. And that one's blocked away. Wells was looking over his left shoulder. Now the Americans get it across. Sedley right point. Dances around. Now Sedley gets it back from Blaisdell. Sedley towards the left side. Stops on a dime. As he'll skate towards the high slot. Now drops off for Andonia. Right side. One-timer saved by Wells. Rebound goes to Utah. And they'll chip it off the glass. Barbashev in the area. As Barbashev steers it towards Filion. It goes past him. And deep into the American zone. Allen rink wide feed angle left. It goes deep into the Grizzlies zone. It got redirected at neutral ice. Grizzlies get it back with Hanson Bukata. Ahead to Ricketts, who's at neutral ice. Allen taps it away from him. Ricketts gets it back. He'll backhand it in front of Wells' net. Utah over to Barbashev in the center ice area near Utah's bench. It's off his stick. Americans out to center ice, and they will wing it out towards their left. And the puck goes deep into the Grizzlies zone. Allen collects it towards the left circle, now back up top. As the Americans get it to the middle of the ice, lefty shot, and that's blocked. Not sure if Wells got a piece of it. Reed Lepster gets the puck as we played about 9 minutes of this second period. As Utah out towards center ice. Lepster gets to center ice and he gets spun around, but Lepster's able to dump it in. Allen will switch up forwards. As we played 9 minutes of this second period, Utah leads 3-0. Griffin Ness scored in the second period a couple minutes ago, with Genev and Timofeyev getting the assists. Allen left side, fires towards the net, saved by Wells as it was kind of a low liner. Play stops with 10:55 left in the second. Brad Morrison and Luke Manning stare each other down. And now Colby McCauley and Manning have some words. Those guys exchanged words late in last night's game. Timeout on the ice. Griffin Ness scored 6:01 into the second. Genev and Timofeyev with the assists. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Grizzlies lead 3-0. Aiden Hanson-Bukata scored 10:40 into the first period. It was his first pro goal. Lepster and Manning with the assists. According to the ECHL app, Griffin Ness scored unassisted 15:06 in. We believe Timofeyev redirected it, but we'd like to get another replay to confirm or deny that. Utah took a 2-0 lead after either Ness or Timofeyev scored, and then Ness scored 6:01 in on a centering pass from Genev, and Timofeyev picked up an assist there. That was 6:01 into the second period. So the Grizzlies lead 2-0. 3 goals on 9 shots for the Grizzlies. Allen has outshot Utah 21-9. Shot from the high slots blocked away by Wells. As action in the Grizzlies zone, now Utah will race out to center ice in a black jersey as Neil Shea gets the puck. White numbers, professional green trim, over to Weinstein. Lefty shot, and that one's blocked away. Weinstein looking for his first pro goal. 4 different defensemen for the Grizzlies have scored their first pro goals this season. As the Americans floated it to neutral ice, Grizzlies tried to carry it back in. Play stops with 10:24 left in the second. Grizzlies have yet to get a power play tonight. Luke Salem got a tripping minor, 2:21 into the first period. Early in the second, Timofeyev and Hank Crone each got matching roughing minors, and we skated for 2 minutes 4-on-4 early in the second period. Of the 9 shots Utah has, Griffin Ness leads the way with 2. And according to the box score, it's 2 goals on 2 shots. He's a +2. It looks like Weinstein and Feltner are +2. And the forward line of Genev, Ness, and Timofeyev are each a +2. As the puck goes deep into the Grizzlies zone, we apologize. We're not describing the game the way we'd like to with this Flow Sports feed. The camera angle is just a little bit too wide to be able to clearly spot names and numbers perfectly. Americans back deep in their own zone as we pass the halfway point of this scheduled 60-minute affair. Allen spreads the ice. Now they're moving out towards the left wing. Rink wide feed angle right goes towards Watts. He'll drop it across. The Americans try to center it out in front. It goes behind Karan. As the Grizzlies out to center ice, it's off a stick as Timofeyev chases after it. Genev and Ness come off. Timofeyev's been active here tonight, as he should have 2 points tonight. Should have a goal there that was late in the first period. Allen ices the puck with 9:32 left here in the second period. Kind of interesting to think about the Grizzlies' approach tonight. Over the last 3 games, the Grizzlies have had over 130 combined shots. In fact, Utah has had 3 games in a row against Allen where they have taken 42 shots or more. So we're halfway through, and the Grizzlies have 9 shots, but they've had more success offensively. 3 goals on 9 shots. They're getting not necessarily a high quantity, but they're getting a great quality here so far this evening. And now we got a fight. It's out towards center ice. It's Daniel Amesbury in his Grizzlies debut, and he's going to fight Braden Simmons-Fisher. Amesbury and Simmons-Fisher as they're at center ice. Simmons-Fisher with a couple rights. Amesbury now gets 2 rights in. Big time right on Simmons-Fisher. Now Amesbury, the big right. Now Amesbury swings and misses. Now Amesbury tries to go with the left. Now big time right. Knocks down Simmons-Fisher. All right, Daniel Amesbury, welcome to the Grizzlies. And Diamond Hands, boy, he's got a reputation for a reason. Simmons-Fisher tries to get the crowd fired up, but it was a knockout as Amesbury and Simmons-Fisher, they get the crowd fired up. As Amesbury connected on the right to knock down Simmons-Fisher. They show the replay on Flow Sports. Simmons-Fisher is a big guy at 6'7", 225 pounds. As Amesbury goes about 6'1", 220. Simmons-Fisher got in a couple rights there. Then Amesbury just started pumping with a couple rights. And then Amesbury got a right in, swung and missed. And then Amesbury went to the town with the left and then got Simmons-Fisher off balance. And Amesbury finished it off with a right. 9:29 left in the second period. Grizzlies lead 3-0. Simmons-Fisher and Amesbury having a few words as both guys are in the box, 5 for fighting. So faceoff's going to be in the Allen zone. Amesbury's got his jersey off as he talks things over with Simmons-Fisher or back to live action. Allen lifts it out towards center ice. And you had a feeling at some point tonight Daniel Amesbury is going to drop the gloves in his Grizzlies debut. As Friesen tried to get towards Geneva, glanced up at his stick. And now Friesen throws it up top, but it goes past Colbien's deep into the Grizzlies zone. Wells behind his net, cuts it off as we're skating 5-on-5. Wells lays it for the near goal line. Grizzlies with a strong outlet pass, tape to Genev. As Danny Genev, who's already got 1 assist tonight, and he's got a point in 9 of his last 11 games. Colby Enns fires a righty shot that goes wide. Allen enters 2-on-3. Americans towards the left wing as Weinstein knocks down an American as they were trying to skate around Utah's net towards the near side. Grizzlies tapping off the glass, goes over Gillette's head, stays in play. Grizzlies fit in a line change as Allen crosses center ice. Americans bounce it towards the right side, skate in, lefty shot saved by Wells as Caddick had a pretty good look, and after the whistle, Villion boxes out an American. 8:25 left in the second. The lights go out over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Now the lights go flickering on and off as if the Americans had scored a goal. So Allen, they think that they have scored. And now they're all confused as the light show that normally goes off after a goal gets scored. Caddick was hacking away. And then after the whistle, Sedley slid the puck past the goal line. I think on Flow Sports, if you're a viewer, you can hear the natural sounds. I can't, unfortunately, with the type of setup. The referee says no goal. It's possible the whistle blew as they thought that Wells had covered up. But the puck was still alive, and Sedley slid it past the goal line. So now referee Grant Hendrick is going to give Steve Martinson an explanation. 8:25 left in the second, timeout on the ice. Grizzlies lead 3-0. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
So there's 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in the second period. Daniel Amesbury and Braden Simmons-Fisher, they each got 5 for fighting and 2 for removing the helmet. That was 10:31 into the second period. So draws give me the Grizzlies zone. 3-0 Utah. According to the ECHL box score, Griffin Ness scored Utah's second goal, which was 15:06 into the first. We believe Timofeyev redirected it, but until it changes, all we can go with is what they've got, which is 2 Griffin Ness goals. It's his second straight multiple-point game. Danny Genev and Stepan Timofeyev with an assist on the Ness second period goal, 6:01 in. Grizzlies have been outstanding tonight. Allen has the puck there over in the left circle. Lefty shot, saved by Wells. After the whistle, the Grizzlies swipe after Colton Hargrove. Now Barbashev cross-checks Hargrove in the side. And I think Barbashev was just congratulating Colton Hargrove on getting to his 500th pro game, which is tonight. Weinstein and Hargrove separated by a linesman. Draws going to be back in the Grizzlies zone, and the shot count has certainly been interesting. Allen has outshot Utah 22-10. Americans with 14 shots in the first, 8 in the second. Grizzlies 5 shots in the first, 5 in the second. Certainly in stark contrast, the Grizzlies picked up a penalty as Jack Ricketts goes to the box. He's talking things over with Daniel Amesbury. As Amesbury has some ice over his hand. As Amesbury was able to get in a few blows, but might have done a little bit of damage to his right hand. As Ricketts cleans off his visor. It's going to be an Allen power play. It's their second of the night. Not sure which rule Ricketts broke because we didn't see the referee's signal on this remote feed. So Manning will take the draw against Hargrove. 3-0 Utah. As the draw goes towards the end boards, Utah battles with Caddick. Hargrove holds his ground. Puck slides towards Manning, who will race out to center ice. Manning veers off to the left, now skates back into the Grizzlies zone as he had somebody on the back check. And the Grizzlies will sky it all the way towards David Tendek. Both goaltenders have emergency backups as Marco Costantini's on the injured list. And a couple days ago, Kyle Kaiser was recalled to the AHL's Colorado Eagles. And so Wells, the only goaltender that's a non-E-bug on the Grizzlies' current roster. Puck towards the far side. Grizzlies tapping off the wall. Now they slide it to Reed Lepster. And the whistle blows as an American goes down in the far circle. 7:29 left in the second, and we may have a 5-on-3 power play for the Americans. Caddick on one knee. It looks like the referee's checking to see if there's blood. So I couldn't see if there were 2 fingers or 4 for the high sticking penalty. As looked like Luke Manning, and it might have been Colby Enns. Somebody got an American up high. I think it was Caddick that hit the ice. So who goes to the box? And really the big question is for how long they're in the box. 7:29 left in the second. So it's a 5-on-3 power play for 1:21. Manning's in the box, along with Ricketts and Amesbury. It's a 2-minute penalty, according to the score bug on Flow Sports. So 3 Grizzlies forwards in the box. Utah leads 3-0. Allen wins the faceoff. They get it to Hargrove down the middle of the ice. He'll pitch it back to his left. Americans over to the left circle, dancing around, gets up top. Now to Hargrove. His lefty shot's blocked by Felton. Hargrove gets it back, feeds it to Crone. Now back to Hargrove. He'll slide it to his left. Now the Americans back at the left goal line. Dancing around. Allen tried to get it up top, and they fanned on it. Grizzlies clear it out. Utah will get 3 fresh skaters on the ice. 52 seconds left in the 5-on-3 Allen power play. Grizzlies still up 3. Americans in the left point. They get it to Crone. Back to Hargrove just outside the right circle. He'll pass it towards his left. Now back to Crone. One-timer saved by Wells. Crone back to Hargrove. He's in the right circle. He feeds it across. Allen with a righty shot saved by Wells. And now it looks like Dylan Wells has it covered up as Aiden Hansen-Bukata boxed out Asachuk. Sedley was over towards the left side. Looks like a tired hockey player. Sticks on knee. A stick on knee. As Crone also pretty tired as well towards the end of a shift. 32 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Grizzlies will get 3 fresh skaters on the ice. Friesen, Salem, and Weinstein. Friesen's going to take the face-off. Asachuk will take the draw for the Americans. Thanks for joining us tonight here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Looking forward to the 3-game homestand and being able to see live hockey in the arena and in person. And obviously, hockey's about as entertaining as it gets live and in person. Allen has the puck. They're just outside the left circle, across to Hargrove. Back towards Hargrove, right side. His shot goes wide. The Americans, 5-on-3 for the next 10 seconds. Allen gets to Hargrove, dancing around. Now back towards the left wing. We think that's Sedley. Back to Hargrove. And so get to Crone on the right side. Crone dancing back and forth. Dangles. Now he gets it back across. One-timer. And that's blocked by Salem. Coming out of the box is Ricketts. He joins the play. Allen from the left wing shot. That one's blocked away by Wells. Grizzlies will tap it off the boards, and they clear it out. Weinstein will race towards the bench as Grizzlies make a full line change. Allen crosses center ice. 20 seconds left in their power play. Sedley moves it across. Puck ricochets off a stick. Thomas Cron gets up top. Now back to Cron. Now he feeds it back up top. Allen gets it to Sedley on the right side. Now Sedley will take a righty shot, and that goes wide as Wells slid towards his right. As 4 seconds left in the power play, Manning's itching to come out of the box. Over to the right goal line. Allen trying to feed it to the middle. It glanced off the stick of ends on towards Wells. Manning's out of the box, and we're skating 5-on-5. 5:27 left in the second. Great penalty kill work by the Grizzlies. Timeout on the ice. Utah leads 3-0. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. 5 minutes and 27 seconds are left in the second period. Grizzlies lead the Americans 3-0. The draws in the Grizzlies zone. Utah just killed off a 5-on-3 for over a minute 20. Luke Manning will take the draw against Michael Gildon. As face-off won by Utah. Salem will chip it ahead. It ricochets off the boards and glanced off the skate of Neil Shea. Now Shea ahead to Manning. As Manning fakes to Lepster. Now he gets to him on the right side. Manning trying to get it back from Lepster on the give and go. The pass was overled for Manning from Lepster. As Allen will loft it out to center ice, 2-on-2. Americans over the offensive line, about 5 minutes left in the second period. Allen skates in. They get held up, and the puck slides towards Wells, and he covers up. Some pushing after the whistle, and now Neil Shea finds Jackson Decker as Warmoth has a Grizzly and a bear hug. And Morrison drags down Manning, and then Morrison tried to kick Manning. Now Thomas Cron getting after it with Manning. Not much Amesbury can do about it. He's still in the penalty box serving a fighting major. Now Morrison and Lepster collide. Manning talking things over with referee Grant Hendrick. Boy, Dylan Wells has been outstanding here so far. Allen a little bit more on the aggressive side offensively in terms of the shot count. But the Grizzlies are getting a pretty good quality. You know, the shot count is certainly interesting anytime you face the Allen Americans, because the Americans so far this season have allowed 38.3 shots per game. But they've had some pretty good goaltending with the combination of Marco Costantini and David Tendek. Allen has outshot Utah 27-10. Grizzlies 5 shots in the first period, 5 in the second. Allen with 14 in the first and 13 in the second. Griffin Ness will take the drives out there with Timofeyev and Genev. Right now, according to the ECHL box score, they've got Griffin Ness listed with 2 goals. We believe that first period goal, which is Utah's second of the night, was redirected by Stepan Timofeyev. But right now, ECHL box score has Griffin Ness with 2 goals. Danny Genev, he gets an assist. He now has 12 on the season. He assisted on the Ness second period goal. As Grizzlies enter the offensive zone, Timofeyev will sweep it off the Allen backboard. It ricochets off the wall. Ness chases after it. Tendek covers up at the far goal line. He stops play with 4:36 left in the second. So Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. It's kind of interesting seeing David Tendek, especially with a close-up, as he is wearing an Arizona Coyotes themed mask, as he was a former draft pick of the Arizona Coyotes. That was back, it was a little while ago. Back in 2018, he was a 6th-round pick, 158th overall. Spent parts of a couple years with the Tucson Roadrunners of the AHL. Grizzly fans know him from his time with the Rapid City Rush. Played against the Grizzlies quite a few times. Now the Americans, left side, shot and a score. 4:25 left in the second. It's now a 3-1 game. As the Americans worked it towards Colton Hargrove, and Hargrove in his 500th pro game just got a drop pass just outside the left circle, and he fired a one-timer past Wells. So Colton Hargrove gets his 3rd goal of the year. He's the Americans' captain as he high-fives everybody in the Americans' bench. So lights go flickering on and off, and the Americans get their first goal of the game. We'll see who ends up getting the assist on the Hargrove goal. A one-timer from just outside the left circle. Ricketts will take the draw against Hargrove at center ice. Puck kind of stays in the circle for a while. Both teams jostle as Hargrove hits the ice, and the puck slides into the Grizzlies zone. Wells behind his net. Former 5th-round pick by Edmonton about a decade ago. As the Grizzlies dance around, Utah gets it towards Weinstein. He'll move it to center ice as Filion got cut off. Americans have a tap off the far boards. As less than 4 minutes are left in the second period, Grizzlies get to Filion, who jumps past an American as he avoided a check. Big-time hit delivered by a Grizzly over near the left corner of the Allen zone. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we try to see the game on Flow Sports. Now Allen skates towards the left circle as Caddick stops on a dime. He gets it back up top. Americans left point. They fire towards the net, and it goes over Wells' right shoulder and puts a dent towards the end boards. Allen looked to center it. Barbashev put a stick in the way. Now left point. Allen gets to the circle. Unfortunately, the camera angle is just a little bit too wide to identify too many jerseys tonight. Anania fires towards the net from the right point. It goes wide. Asachuk backhands it up top. Americans get it towards a high slot. Watts lefty shot. And that one's blocked about 5 feet in front of Wells. Grizzlies get it with Maxime Barbashev. He fires a backhand dish deep towards the left corner. Filion chases after it. As on the back check, Anania knocks over Filion as Anania gets the puck at the near goal line. Long-range feed, angle right. That's a misconnection. It goes all the way down for an Allen icing as there's 2:57 left in the second period. So the Hargrove goal was assisted by Colby McCauley. And right now they've got McCauley listed as the lone assist. And that was 15:35 into the second. Americans up to 14 shots in the second period. Interesting symmetry. Grizzlies 5 shots in the first, 5 in the second. Allen 14 shots in the first, 14 in the second. But the Grizzlies lead 3-1. In terms of leading the shot count, Sage Weinstein and Griffin Ness each have 2. And according to the box score, Ness has 2 of Utah's 3 goals. As both teams jostle for positioning over in the left corner, Allen comes up with the puck. As the Americans race out towards neutral ice, they spread the ice, right wing feed. That goes off the stick as they're looking for Harrison Blaisdell, the speedy forward, former Winnipeg draft pick. As Gillette on the back check loses control of the puck at neutral ice. Allen back in their own zone. And they'll slice one angle right, tape to tape towards Braden Watts. He tried to move it across. As Hargrove wearing the C on his sweater, they spotlight him on the Americans bench on Flow Sports. And miraculously, somewhere off the screen, the puck ended up deep into the Allen zone. As the Americans, Blaisdell spins around a Grizzly. As he'll race along the right wing. Now he drops it over towards Watts' right side. Watts looked to center to glance off a Grizzly stick. Genev gets the puck. And he'll move to his right. He now reverses it back to the left side for Shea. Now Weinstein left side, lefty shot. And that one goes wide, glove side on 10 deck. Grizzlies chip it back towards the near corner. Up top, Weinstein fires towards the net. And that got redirected by Lepster's stick. As puck towards the corner. 1:38 on a moving clock, second period. As Manning and Shea hold their ground. Lepster gets pushed by Caddick. The Grizzlies wrap around. Manning shot save. Rebound shot and a score! Manning took the first shot, and it's Reed Lepster getting his 10th of the year, and Utah takes a 4-1 lead. Well, a good power move by Manning. Got around the Allen net, bounced one off a Tendek's right pad, and Reed Lepster is right there to collect the rebounds. So Lepster gets his 10th goal. He becomes the first Grizzly forward to score in double digits in terms of goals. He now has 10. Manning picks up an assist, and that's his second assist, as it appears that Simmons, Fisher, and Amesbury are coming out of the penalty box after serving their fighting major. For Reed Lepster, he's up to 10 goals. Luke Manning, we believe, got his second assist of the night, as Manning picked up an assist on the Hanson Bucata goal, 10:40 into the first, so it's a multiple-point game for Luke Manning with 2 helpers. And one surprised me, if Neil Shea gets the other assist, that would mean he would have a point in 10 of his last 12 games. Allen out towards center ice, goes deep into the Grizzly zone. Allen races around Wells' net. Utah puts a stop to it as Ricketts puts some lumber towards Quinn Warmoth. Hargrove in the area. He's got Allen's lone goal. He gets cut off by Felton. Left point. Allen fires towards the net wide. Foot race towards the right corner. As Ricketts in the area skates around Wells' net towards the far side. Ricketts with a backhand dish off the glass. Is it delay of game? Yes, the linesman says it tipped off the glass, so no delay of game. 53 seconds left in the second. Grizzlies lead 4-1. Well, the ECHL box score has been a little bit late to respond after these goals, and I'm not entirely sure that's been fully accurate. But we do know that Reed Lepster scored his 10th goal of the year, and Luke Manning had one of the assists. What a power move by Manning. You know, he's stronger than he looks. He's one of those guys that when you see him out of uniform, he looks like he's built quite a bit of strength and looks a bit stronger this year. Allen wins the draw, high slot. Lefty shot goes wide as it ricochets off the glass behind Wells' net. Now back up top, 44 seconds left in the period. Allen skates towards the left goal line. As the Americans blow a tire, as Ricketts in the area. It appears that Manning has got the lone assist on the Lepster goal, 18:31 in. As a scrum along the left corner, Allen comes out with the puck. They'll chip it up top. Americans, Anania back towards the left side, back to Anania. His lefty shot, he fans on it. Actually might have gotten blocked by a Grizzly. Anania recovers it at center ice. Americans will bounce it deep in their own zone. They might play for one final shot. 12 seconds left in the second period. As Anania back behind his net, he'll rink one towards his right. As the Americans throw it to the middle of the ice, 4 seconds left. Allen enters from the right wing. Now they stop over in the right corner, blow a tire, and that will do it for 40 minutes of play over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Grizzlies had a 2-0 lead after one period. Griffin Ness scored 6:01 into the second on a great feed from Danny Genev. Stepan Timofeyev also picked up an assist. Allen's Colton Hargrove scored 15:35 into the second. That made it a 3-1 game. And then Reed Lepster scored on a rebound from a Luke Manning wraparound shot. That was 18:31 into the second period. And even though Allen has outshot Utah 29-12, it's the Grizzlies with a 4-1 lead as the Grizzlies have 4 goals on just 12 shots. And obviously everybody's going to be talking about the Daniel Amesbury fight with Braden Simmons-Fisher, 10:31 into the second period. We'll come back and talk some hockey and go over the first 40 minutes and also go over some other scores from around the world of sports. It's the Grizzlies 4 and the Americans 1. We're back in 2 minutes for the second intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
After 40 minutes of play over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, Utah leads 4-1, and they played a really controlled game with 4 goals on 12 shots. You kind of think about it, the Grizzlies had at least 40 shots in each of their last 3 games against the Americans. Utah's kind of slowed it down a little bit. They're looking for quality. They don't necessarily care about the quantity tonight. And oddly enough, that's kind of been a formula that's worked not only this evening, but in past Grizzlies games. It seems like Utah, when they've outshot the opponents by a wide margin, and it hasn't necessarily translated into success and translated into a bunch of goals. But however, the couple games when it looks like the Grizzlies just kind of work the puck around, kind of play a controlled style, get some traffic out in front, see if you can screen the goaltender. That's been the games where the Grizzlies have had their success offensively. And tonight certainly is no different. Unfortunately, I think there's some mistakes on the box score on the ECHL app. I certainly would like to see a replay on the Grizzlies' second goal that was scored in the first period. But first, let's get to the first goal, and it was Aiden Hansen-Bukata's first as a pro, as he got the puck over to the left wing, and he fired it past David Tendek. It's the 8th different Grizzly player to score his first pro goal, and for Hansen-Bukata, he's the 4th different defenseman to get the game puck from DJ McFarland for his first pro goal. Hansen-Bukata, his goal was assisted by Reed Lepster and Luke Manning. That's the first of 2 assists for Manning on the night. And Utah took a 1-0 lead. And then 15:06 in. According to the box score, originally they gave the goal to Stepan Timofeyev with Griffin Ness getting an assist, but now it's just Griffin Ness with the goal. So maybe it was an Allen stick. There were multiple sticks out in front of the net. You could clearly tell in the one replay that they showed immediately after the goal that it got redirected by a stick. Now, we thought it was Timofeyev's stick out in front. He certainly thought he had scored the goal. Right now it's listed as Griffin Ness, which would be his first of 2 on the night. Right now it's listed as unassisted, but we're not entirely sure about the validity of that. We might have to check the next day to see who actually got the goal. But right now it's Griffin Ness, who's on hat trick watch according to the ECHL box score. He scored unassisted 15:06 into the first. And how about the series for Griffin Ness? You just think about last night, 1 goal and 1 assist. And he's a guy that certainly made a strong impact over the last couple of weeks, not only with the puck, but he's made some great plays without the puck. And how about Griffin Ness in particular on Saturday nights? He came into play with 3 goals in his last 2 Saturdays. We know he has 1, and right now, according to the ECHL box score, he's got 2. Nevertheless, whoever scored that second goal for the Grizzlies doesn't necessarily matter that much. All that really matters is the Grizzlies got their second goal late in the first period. Time of goal was 15:06 in. Utah led 2-0 after 1 period, even though Allen outshot Utah 14-5. We do know that Griffin Ness scored 6:01 into the second on a great centering feed from Danny Genev. Genev with his team leading 12th assist, and Stepan Timofeyev picked up his 6th assist of the year. It could be a multiple-point game for Timofeyev, depending on whether he got a piece of that Ness shot late in the first period, but we're not entirely sure of it. We did think that on the one replay, or at least I thought. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. My glasses certainly haven't been working as well as they should. Timofeyev could have redirected that Ness shot in the first period, but nevertheless, with the Ness goal, 6:01 into the second, he at least has 4 goals in his last 3 Saturdays, with this being the 3rd Saturday. Ness gave the Grizzlies a 3-0 lead, 6:01 in. Colton Hargrove's in his 500th pro game tonight, and he scored on a one-timer from just outside the left circle. 15:35 in as Colby McCauley with a little bit of a drop pass towards Hargrove. He teed it up, and Hargrove drove it like he was John Daly past Dylan Wells. That was 15:35 into the second. Then the Grizzlies got back on the board. It was a scrum along the boards, and then Luke Manning just kind of muscled his way around an American, looked for a wraparound shot, bounced it off a Tendex right pad, and Reed Lepster is all alone for the rebound. Lepster put it away past Tendek to give Utah a 4-1 lead. Lepster with his 10th of the year. He becomes the first Grizzly player to score 10 or more. And Luke Manning gets his 2nd assist of the night. Manning now has 8 assists on the year. If I remember right, it's his 2nd multiple-point game this season. And Utah has a 4-1 lead, 4 goals on 12 shots, 5 shots in the first and 7 in the second. Allen, 14 shots in the first and 15 in the second period. Utah is yet to get a power play. Allen is 0 for 3 on the power play. And you talk about turning points in this game. The Grizzlies were shorthanded 5-on-3 for a while. Jack Ricketts got an interference minor 11:51 in, and then Luke Manning got a high-sticking minor 40 seconds later, 12:31 in. So the Americans had a 5-on-3 power play for 1 minute and 20 seconds, and Allen maybe got 1 or 2 shots in that 5-on-3. The Americans did a good job working the puck around, but the Grizzlies really did a good job protecting Dylan Wells' net. The defensemen have done a good job out in front of the crease. And even though, Wells has allowed a few rebounds because of the Grizzlies' ability to box out Allen, even though the Americans do have a size advantage, Grizzlies have been very disciplined defensively, and they were certainly disciplined on that 5-on-3 as all 3 skaters that were out on the ice did an outstanding job. They cleared the puck on a couple of occasions. And then even on the 5-on-4, Allen wasn't able to get anything done. So you talk about a momentum switching play. Either way, the momentum is going to change when you got a 5-on-3 power play for that long. And luckily for the Grizzlies, they were able to keep momentum on their side. And that was not that long after the Daniel Amesbury fight with Braden Simmons-Fisher. If you're tuned into YouTube, the Grizzlies social media channels have the footage of the fight. We do know that it's on X. I'm not sure about the other social media channels. You can check on those as well to get the highlights of the goals as well as the Amesbury fight against Braden Simmons-Fisher. And even though Simmons-Fisher is the bigger of the guys in terms of height, Braden Simmons-Fisher goes 6'7", 225, and Amesbury about 6 feet, 222 pounds. Amesbury was able to get the better of Braden Simmons-Fisher. And if you joined us late, the Grizzlies signed Diamond Hands earlier today, and Utah kind of needed a player like that, somebody that physically can kind of stand up. And, the Grizzlies are one of the smaller teams in the league, and as a result, I think if teams are going to play the Grizzlies, and I think we've seen it, first 20 games of the regular season, it's game 21 of 72, opposing teams have maybe taken a little bit of liberties knowing that the Grizzlies are a little bit smaller. I wouldn't say that that's the reason why the Grizzlies have had quite a few injuries so far this season, but signing a guy like Amesbury certainly fills a need that the Grizzlies have had through the first quarter of the season. So Utah's playing some pretty good hockey. They lead 4-1 after 40 minutes of play. We'll see what happens in the third. Grizzlies just have to find a way to hold their ground and salvage the third game of the series, and we're certainly looking forward to next week's homestand. It's a 3-game set against the Atlanta Gladiators. Let's go over some other league scores. Atlanta fell 4-3 to the Jacksonville Icemen as Jordan scored 15-10 into the third period for Jacksonville. The third and final game of that series over in Jacksonville will be on Sunday afternoon. And obviously, if you got a Flow Sports subscription, I would recommend viewing that game and scouting the Atlanta Gladiators out a little bit. Obviously, you can catch Grizzlies audio broadcasts on YouTube, and you can do so as well with the Atlanta broadcast and our good friend Guy Carenza, as it's a pretty similar setup as to what we have here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. So Atlanta loses 4-3 to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a 500 club. They have a 10-10 record on the year. Atlanta falls to 13-5. Most of the action in the league has gone final. Adirondack over Maine 2-1. Greenville gets goals from 5 different players. They defeat South Carolina 5-2. Cincinnati gets a 7-1 victory over Indy as Cincinnati scored a touchdown, kicked the extra point. Bengals over the Colts, if you will, 7-1. Reading gets a 5-4 comeback victory over Worcester. Former Grizzly Nathan Burke had one of the goals for the Reading Royals. Orlando wins their 5th in a row. They defeat Savannah 3-2. Savannah scored 1 goal in the third period, but Orlando held on for the victory. Florida over Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals 5-2. Former Grizzlies forwards Kyle Betts and Taryn Fizer each had a goal. Fizer ended the night with 1 goal and 1 assist. Florida's record goes to 14-5-1-1. Norfolk falls to 5-12-2. In Mountain Division action, Wichita defeats Tulsa 4-1. Former Allen American Kyle Krenkovic scored 2 third-period goals. Proctor and Jeffers had the other Wichita tallies. Former Grizzly Dylan Fitz had Tulsa's lone goal. He scored 17:36 into the third. Wheeling gets a 3-1 victory over Greensboro. Former Grizzly Craig Armstrong's on an incredible hot streak. He has 11 points in his last 6 games. He scored a goal 12-16 into the second period. And how about the Wheeling Nailers? Their record is 16-3-1 on the season. Late third period, Toledo leads Fort Wayne 4-3. Former Grizzly Chad Hillebrand has one of the Toledo's second period goals. Actually had the lone second period goal. Toledo has scored 2 in the third, and the Walleye lead the Fort Wayne Comets 4-3. And those two teams and the fan bases of those teams absolutely hate each other. I remember when the Grizzlies played Toledo in the Western Conference Finals, the office was literally getting calls from Fort Wayne fans saying, whatever you do, you got to beat Toledo for us. And so those teams and the fans of those teams absolutely hate each other. That game's at Huntington Center in Toledo, and the Walleye lead the Comets 4-3. After 2 periods, Bloomington got 3 goals from Jackson. He gets a hat trick. Bloomington leads Kalamazoo 4-1. After 1 period, Idaho got goals from Nick Canati and Liam Malmquist. Idaho 2, and the defending champion Trois Rivières Lions nothing. And just getting underway over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, Rapid City is at Tahoe. When we come back, we'll go over the slate in the National Hockey League as well as some college football scores. Utah leads Allen 4-1 after 40 minutes of play. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea? Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Action in the National Hockey League. The Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, got an overtime game winner from Nathan MacKinnon. It was McKinnon's second of the game. He now has 24 goals on the season. Martin Necas had an assist in all three of the Avalanche goals. Colorado 3, and the New York Rangers 2. Other games that have gone final. The Flames defeat the Mammoth 2-0. Calgary scored 16 seconds into the game, and then Connor Zary scored an empty netter 17:46 in. Mammoth outshot the Flames 27-23, but it's Calgary that gets the 2-0 victory. Mammoth's winning streak ends at 2. In a shootout, Canadians and Maple Leafs are tied at 1. We'll see if we can get an update a little bit later, as that game is currently in a shootout. After one period, no score between the Blackhawks and the Kings. Getting underway at 8 o'clock, Jets are at the Oilers, Wild are at the Canucks, and the Red Wings are at the Kraken. Finals in the National Hockey League, Panthers defeat the Blue Jackets 7-6 as Sam Bennett scored an overtime game winner with 4 seconds remaining. So that was pretty close to going to a shootout, but Bennett got the overtime game winner in the final 5 seconds of the extra session. Bruins over the Devils 4-1. Blues get 2 goals from Jake Neighbors. They defeat the Senators 2-1. Islanders over the Lightning 2-0. Lightning outshot the Senators. Lightning 32-19. Other finals, Hurricanes over the Predators 6-3. It was the Islanders over the Lightning 2-0. And that's the finals across the National Hockey League. In college football, the Big 12 championship game, Texas Tech defeated BYU 34-7. As Texas Tech wins the Big 12, they go to the college football playoffs. BYU, it's not sure what their bowl destination is going to be. They finish up 11-2. Very successful year for BYU. Both of their losses came against Texas Tech. Other college football action in the SEC championship game, Georgia defeated Alabama 28-7. In the MAC championship game, Western Michigan defeated Miami of Ohio 23-13. At the half in the ACC championship game, Duke leads Virginia 14-7. And in the Big Ten championship game, also at the half, Ohio State leads Indiana 10-6. When we come back in a minute, we will have third period action as the Grizzlies lead the Americans 4-1. You've been tuned in to the Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
We're about set for third period action as the Grizzlies lead the Americans 4-1. I was scrolling through social media earlier today, and I actually saw a photo of the pandemic year. I think it might have been the 2020-21 season, where Matt McConnell, who at that time was the TV voice of the Arizona Coyotes, and obviously he's now at the Utah Mammoth, he actually did remote broadcasts from Chase Field, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. We're not exactly at Chase Field. We're kind of just hanging out at the Grizz Cave, kind of a gritty, dungy kind of place here near the Grizzlies team store, as we're having a good time here on a Saturday night. Grizzlies lead 4-1. According to the box score, Griffin Ness has 2 goals, even though we're not sure about the first period goal. It might have been Stepan Timofeyev. Nevertheless, we're having some fun. Luke Manning's got 2 assists. And Reed Lebster has 1 goal and 1 assist. The forward line of Manning, Lebster, and Shea are each a +2. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports, and do be a little bit patient with me. Unfortunately, we can't quite describe the game in the same sense that we would like to with this remote feed. as McCauley drives it into the Grizzlies zone, as Allen dances around in the left wing. As the Americans get it back up top, Anania gets it off the wall. He fires lefty shot, and that one's blocked away. It looked like an American is holding their face. Arm is raised by the referee. It looks like high sticking is going to be the penalty. And so the Americans will be on a power play. So there's 19:27 left in the third. And is it going to be 4 minutes? Oh, it looks like it's going to be a 4-minute power play as an American was able to spot blood. So draw's actually going to be in the Grizzlies zone. 4 minutes. Jack Ricketts goes to the box. Double minor for high sticking. Utah 4, Allen 1. Grizzlies' penalty kill has been outstanding as of late. They are 3 for 3 on the PK tonight. And so far this season, Grizzlies, and they came into play at 81%. At one point, they were as high as 88%. Felton will take the draw against Asachuk, and I promise I'm going to ask John Mechanic this. Grizzlies win the draw, as every now and then the Grizzlies will have a defenseman take a defense's own draw on a penalty kill. You don't see this in 5-on-5 action. John Gillette gets the puck, right side shot, saved by Tendek, as Gillette had a good look shorthanded. Utah's got 2 shorthanded goals this year, both of them by Reed Webster. Allen back to neutralize, they cross center as they race along the left wing. As they drop it for Asachuk, and he'll get it back in deep as an American gets pushed along the glass. 3.5 minutes left in the power play, as it's the first portion of the double minor. Now it's the right side, dancing all around. Lefty shot saved by Wells. Felton gets the rebound to skate around Wells' net towards the near side, as Wells gets belted towards the boards, and Felton will clear it out. Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Sam Sedley gets the puck. He'll skate around Allen's net. Sedley, second-year pro. And so he'll push it back as Colton Hargrove gets it. As Hargrove tries to negotiate his way around Manning. Manning pokes it back. Hargrove gets it back. He'll skate around Tendek's net. Hargrove sporting a beard. He's the captain of the Americans, although I think him and Asachuk are actually co-captains. As Anania gets to the middle of the ice, racing across center is McCauley, we believe. He'll tap it towards his right. Now McCauley gets it back around to Hargrove, who's in the right corner. He slides it up top. Anania will push it to Crone. Now back to Anania, who directs it to the right side. Hargrove tries to feed it towards the middle of the ice. It glanced off the stick and goes wide. Anania back towards Hargrove, over to Anania. Now Hargrove, Crone, back to Anania, over to Hargrove. One-timer, saved by Wells, and it flips out of play with 17:44 left in the third. There's 2:18 left in the double minor for high sticking, so we're 18 seconds away from the first half of the double minor. And then after that, then it'll just kind of have the effect of a minor penalty. You can almost look at it, instead of a 4-minute power play, you can look at it as 2 separate 2-minute power plays that the Americans have. They spotlight Hank Crone, the 2022-23 league MVP. It's kind of funny, between whistles, they never show players on the visiting team. They always show the home players. So it's tough to really spotlight any Grizzlies because they never show them. Between whistles, you kind of have to manufacture it. Anania over to Crone as Allen won the face-off. He's in the left circle. Back up top, Anania gets it across. Hargrove fakes a one-timer. Back up top to Anania. Extended shift by this American power play unit. Anania over to Hargrove. He tried to center it towards Caddick. It's knifed away by the combination of Weinstein and Felton. And Felton will steer it all the way down deep into the American zone. Grizzlies and Americans will both make a line change. 1:45 here in the second portion of the double minor for high sticking, as the Americans cross center ice. Now Allen skates towards the left circle. Watts gets it in deep. Puck towards the right corner. Allen gets it back to Watts. It goes past him. Watts gets it off the boards. He's in the left point. Up top, Sedley. Over towards Gildon, back to Sedley. Over to Watts, right side. Lefty one-timer, saved by Wells. Wells almost lost his balance, and the Grizzlies clear it out. So Americans back towards neutral ice. Grizzlies switch up skaters. 4 fresh tires on their penalty kill. Allen gets it towards Gildon. He'll drop it off. Asachuk will fire it across. Americans back up top, right point. They direct it towards Sedley. Now over towards Gildon, left side. His lefty shot. That one's sticked away by Manning. Now Manning gets the puck towards the middle of the ice. 45 seconds left in the power play over to Lebster, who stops near the Americans bench. He gets his pocket picked as the Americans race back to neutral ice. Caron over the offense line, skates towards the left corner, gets pushed by Enns. Asachuk and Felton get physical with each other. Gildon joins the play, nudging Felton. Grizzlies come out with the puck. Utah will race to neutral ice 2-on-2. Utah with a right wing feed out towards Manning off his stick. Manning gets around Sedley. Now Manning goes down. He's behind Allen's net. Manning back to his feet. 15 seconds left in Allen's power play. As Grizzlies' penalty kill has been on point tonight. They have been disciplined defensively. They've been in the right place at the right time. Scrum over in the left corner. Now it slides behind Utah's net as Filion will clear it all the way out. Christoph Filion's played a pretty good series over in Allen. As coming out of the box is Jack Ricketts. He'll join the play behind Allen's net. Ricketts still looking for his first point tonight as he's got a current 6-game point scoring streak on the line. Hargrove left side. Shot saved by Wells. Rebound shot saved by Wells again as the puck goes towards the right side. About 5 minutes into the third period. Now Anania left side skates around Utah's net. Anania tried to force one out in front. It bounced off a Grizzly. Utah throws it up but not out. Anthony Costantini moves to the right side. Now an American skating horizontally towards the net. They get knocked down as McCauley fires towards the net, and the net goes swaying, but it looks like it hits the outside of the cage. Allen gets it back towards McCauley. Now Sedley fakes a shot, moves to his right. Sedley gets to the right corner. Now on the give and go, lefty shot. That one's sticked away by Utah as the Americans back towards the right point. They'll slide it towards the middle of the ice for McCauley. Now McCauley dances around in the left point. He'll move it across. Allen with some extended offensive zone time, right side. Just outside the circle, lefty shot that's blocked away. Might have been blocked by the stick of Barbashev. The Americans back towards the right side. Now down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot by McCauley. That one might have been blocked by Barbashev. As the Americans still in the offensive zone. High slot righty shot that goes wide. That was taken by Anthony Costantini, the former Tulsa Oiler. As the Grizzlies will chip it out towards center ice. Much needed clear by Utah. 13:50 on a moving clock. And American slithers their way around Barbashev. Allen looked to center, glanced off a stick, and Barbashev moves it up and not out. It was kept in. Good play by the Americans. Now Allen gets to the left side. Lefty shot, and that one's blocked by Ricketts. Now Wells dives in front of the crease. He covers up with 13:35 left in the third. And Harrison Blaisdell just tripped a Grizzly. Just kind of kicked at him. Blaisdell having some words as referee Grant Hendrick is hearing it from Harrison Blaisdell. 13:35 left in the third period. Utah still leads 4-1. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Minutes, 35 seconds left in the third period. Grizzlies lead the Americans 4-1. Everybody having a good time over in Allen, Texas. It looks like a pretty good Saturday night crowd. They had over 6,000 on Wednesday and about 5,700 last night, and they might have a similar number here this evening. Draws over in the left circle. Utah leads 4-1 as Allen wins the draw. High slot, lefty shot, one-timer saved by Wells. He holds on. The former Allen American's been solid in net. And even though the Americans have a strong shot advantage of 38-13, Allen has outshot Utah 9-1 in the third period. The Grizzlies have 4 goals, and Allen has 1, and that's really the only stat number that matters. Attendance tonight, 4,688. It's actually the worst attended game of the 3 so far in this series at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It's the 6th straight game between the Grizzlies and Americans. You can almost treat it as a playoff series, if you will, with just that many games. Allen, left side shot saved by Wells, and the Grizzlies clear it out. Watts gets the idle puck. He's behind Allen's net. He'll zip one angle left as the Americans will touch it ahead. As Morrison glancing off an Allen stick. Now Morrison gets the puck, trying to slither around Hanson Buchanan, and he does. Centering pass. Great play by Colby Enns, taken away from Allen, who tried to shovel it towards Wells. Morrison gets it to the middle of the ice, and on the back check, Utah took it away. Griffin Ness has 1, maybe 2 goals tonight. We're not sure right now. According to the box score, he's got 2. As they say that Timofeyev didn't redirect it. Timofeyev fires towards the net and misses wide. Genev trying to get towards Ness. Ness over in the left corner. Bounce it to Genev, who skates around Allen's net. Oh, Genev gets blasted as he was skating along the far goal line. Now Timofeyev, right side shot saved by Tendek. Timofeyev over in the right corner gets up top. Salem fires lefty shot, and that one looked like it was either kicked away by Tendek's left pad or was blocked in front of him. The Americans out towards center ice as they switch up forwards. As Utah takes it away, Grizzlies have done a good job protecting their blue line. Salem whips it around the boards. Manning, he gets hit in the back. Lepster in the area along with Shea. Lepster feeds it up top. Now back down low for Manning. And Manning gets it knifed away towards the right wing boards. Salem gets physical with Thomas Caron. Now Caron and Lepster battle in the right corner. As Caron gets the puck, it's his second stint with the Americans. Also has some time with Idaho. Manning tried to slither his way past a double team. Allen took it away. Americans trying to get the give and go. Now they feed it looking for Gildon. It's cut off by Wells in front of the crease. 11:38 left in the third. The draw's going to be back in the Grizzlies zone. So Utah trying to salvage the third game of the series. One of the things that will be a headline after tonight's game is Daniel Amesbury makes his Grizzlies debut tonight. He was just signed a few hours before face-off. Amesbury got in a fight 10:31 into the second period with Braden Simmons-Fisher. And looked like Amesbury got the better of Simmons-Fisher. Amesbury, this is his 3rd different team in this league. He's also played with Fort Wayne and the Kansas City Mavericks. Certainly well known for his enforcer skills, as he has logged quite a few penalty minutes in both the Federal League and this league, and he certainly brings the physical presence that the Grizzlies were looking for. Allen has the puck to the left side. Caddick over in the corner as he gets knocked down. Caddick back to his feet as Shea delivering the hit. Now the puck slides back to center ice. Allen will skate back into their own zone, and they spread the ice. As looks like hooking's going to be the call away from the play. There's one referee tonight, and it's Grant Hendrick. 11:14 left in the third. Who goes to the box? Caddick skates towards the bench. It's going to be a penalty on the Americans. Colton Hargrove will get a 2-minute hooking minor. So it's going to be a power play for the Grizzlies. It's their first power play of the game. Oh, no, it looks like a Grizzlies hurt. And that is Jack Ricketts. Well, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, Ricketts just kind of, was there a cheap shot? I don't know. And now it looks like referees signaling towards, I think, Colby McCauley, pointing him to the penalty box. Grizzlies look like they're a little bit steamed. Well, I'm not sure what happened there, and I'm pretty sure the Allen video crew is not going to show it if it was a dirty play. But all of a sudden, Ricketts was on 2 knees. Luckily, Ricketts is back to his feet, but I'm not sure what McCauley did. And now McCauley's sitting in the box with Hargrove. So it should be a 5-on-3 power play for the Grizzlies for 2 minutes. As McCauley and Hargrove are each sitting in the box. The Grizzlies looked like they were staring down McCauley pretty good. And now Jack Ricketts gets a penalty. So Ricketts is in the box for the Grizzlies, and McCauley and Hargrove are each in there. So I imagine Ricketts and McCauley's penalties will offset. And the Grizzlies will have a 5-on-4 power play for 2 minutes. Hargrove got a hooking minor. I'm not sure what Ricketts and McCauley got. We didn't get a look either way. All I know is that Ricketts was kind of down on the ice for a little bit. McCauley got a roughing minor. And Ricketts also got a rough. So matching roughing minors, Ricketts and McCauley. So 5-on-4 power play for the Grizzlies. They are 17.9% on the power play. They have a power play goal in 11 of their last 14 games. Off the draw, lefty shot saved by Tendek. That shot was taken by Neil Shea. That is Shea's first shot tonight. He had 26 shots in each of his first 5 games against the Americans, an average of more than 5 per game. Shea races across center ice like a bolt of lightning, steps over the offensive line, gets to Manning, who gets hit from behind. The puck's cleared back to center ice. Grizzlies will spin it towards Evan Friesen. It would normally be Jack Ricketts on this power play unit. Friesen replaces Ricketts. As Manning gets the puck near side, he'll wing one across. Grizzlies accept the puck towards the left wing. They step over the offensive line. Shea rolls it back to Hanson Buchanan, who has 5 power play assists. Now towards the left side, one-timer save. A rebound shot right side. That shot's blocked as Manning gets thrown towards the ice. That's going to be a penalty on the Americans. As Luke Manning was going after a loose puck, he got thrown to the ice by Andre Anania. Anania says, "Me? You can't believe it." As now Anania goes to the box, and the Grizzlies will have a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. Or they're going to have a 5-on-3 for 1:13. As Hargrove joins McCauley. Anania joins Hargrove and McCauley in the box. So those 3 will each take a seat. So it should be a 5-on-3 power play for 1:13. Now the Grizzlies huddle things up. Grizzlies nursing a 3-goal lead. This would pretty much put it on ice. Genev talking things over with Christian Felton. Watch out for the playmaking ability of Danny Genev, especially in open ice like it is right now. So Grizzlies well in control despite the fact that Allen is outshooting Utah 40-16. Ness will take the draw according to the box score. He's got 2 goals tonight, which might be the case. We'd love to see an extra replay to see if Timofeyev got a piece of the goal that was scored 15:06 into the first. Grizzlies have the puck as Felton gets to the middle of the ice for Genev. Danny Genev, the first-year pro out of Penn State. He steps over the offensive line, angle right. He gets it back towards Felton in the high slot. Over to Genev, who has 5 goals this season. Danny just dishes it back towards Felton. Across to the left wing as Utah over towards Timofeyev. Back towards the left wing, one-timer. And that one might have gotten blocked by Tendek. Felton over towards the left side. Grizzlies skate in. They tried to crafty move on Tendek and got denied. Grizzlies throw it up, but it goes out of the zone. Allen will quickly switch off a couple skaters. Utah re-enters from the right side. Genev fakes it towards his left, keeps control of the puck. Now slide it to the left point. Less than 20 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Genev gets the puck on the right side, moves one across, one-timer. That's blocked before it gets to Tendek. Allen clears it off the near wing boards, and the puck goes out to center ice. Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Timofeyev skates over the offensive line left wing. He'll wrap it around the boards. As Grizzlies with Danny Genev, he gets pushed along the corner. Friesen gets back to Shea. He's in the right wing. Now we're skating 5-on-4. Shea gets the puck taken away from him by Colton Hargrove, fresh out of the box. Hargrove skates over the offensive line. He's in the left point. On the back check, Utah takes it away. 2-on-1. Timofeyev over the line. Skates towards the left circle. Righty shot. And a score! Stepan Timofeyev gets his 5th of the year. And this baby's in the refrigerator as Utah takes a 5-1 lead. Boy, Timofeyev just went stick side past Tendek. And what a night for Stepan Timofeyev. That's at least his 2nd point tonight. 1 goal and 1 assist. And after the play, looks like an American, Sam Sedley, is going to go to the penalty box. So McCauley exits as his roughing minor's over. And now Sam Sedley will go to the box with 8:52 left in the 3rd. So it's a power play goal. Utah is 1 for 1 on the power play tonight. And for Timofeyev, it's his 5th goal of the year and 4th as a Grizzly, assuming he didn't get a piece of the first period goal that has been credited to Griffin Ness. So Sedley's in the box. Looks like there was still 26 seconds left in the 5-on-4 power play. So maybe the Grizzlies get a new power play. Not sure what Sedley did. We'll see who ends up getting the assist on the Timofeyev goal. Could be Danny Geneva getting his second assist of the night. Now referee Grant Hendrick is talking with team leaders on both sides. So for the Grizzlies, obviously the power play goal pretty much puts this game on ice. 5-1, and these teams won't meet for a couple months. So with that, you wonder if things are going to start to get a little bit physical and a little bit chippy. 6th straight game between these clubs, and I got to imagine the Grizzlies are tired of seeing the Americans, and the Americans are tired of seeing the Grizzlies. So not sure what Sedley did, but he's in the box right now serving a 2-minute penalty. Everybody kind of a little bit curious in the Allen side. David Tendek kind of stretching things out a little bit. With the power play goal, Utah now has a power play goal in 12 of their last 15 games. And now it looks like the Americans will come on the ice. But there's a little bit of a delay as referees kind of getting things sorted out. We'll see if we can get an update on to the Sedley penalty. It looks like the Grizzlies have another power play as there's 8:52 left in the third. Utah wins the draw. Neil Shea back deep in his own zone. As the Grizzlies have played well tonight. Utah out towards center ice. Reed Lebster, 1 goal tonight, 10 on the season. Moves it to the left side for Shea. Back to Lebster. Righty shot goes wide. Puck slides towards neutral ice. Allen gets it. They have a 2-on-1. Watts towards the left wing. Feeds towards the right side. Lefty shot. Saved by Wells. And he holds on. How about Dylan Wells tonight? He's been outstanding. He so far has saved 41 of 42. 1:36 left in the Grizzlies power play. And we're still not sure what Sedley did. Utah's power play goal. Timofeyev scored 11:08 in with Danny Geneva and Aiden Hansen-Bukata getting the assists. So it's a multiple-point game for Aiden Hansen-Bukata, who has 1 goal and 1 assist. Timofeyev has 1 goal and 1 assist. And Danny Geneva now has 2 assists. And that's Geneva's team-leading 5th multiple-point game on the year. So Grizzlies have the puck. They're deep in their own zone. Early on a power play. Still not sure what Sedley did. They haven't posted on the ECHL box score. Actually, it looks like Sedley got a charging minor. And that was 11:33 into the third period. Grizzlies over the offensive line. Timofeyev chases after it. Griffin Ness in the area as well as Weinstein. Friesen gets it in the left corner. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Felton back towards the left wing. Grizzlies dance around as Utah will fiddle and diddle. Now they get it back towards Felton. Felton fires towards the net, and that's blocked by Tendek. Ness behind the net gets towards Weinstein on the right side. Weinstein back towards the right circle. Now to Ness in the corner. Ness surveys. Now he spins it back towards Timofeyev. It's brushed away from him, and the Americans clear it all the way out. Less than 30 seconds left in Utah's power play. Grizz lead 5-1. Might be interesting to see the hit that Sedley had. It was a charging minor, which the nature of that hit, kind of curious as to what that hit was. Might have been something off the screen that we didn't see. Lebster has the puck as the Grizzlies change skaters. Lebster gets hit in the back as he skates towards the right corner. Dances around, gets it towards Manning. Luke Manning trying to throw it towards the right circle. It's taken away. The Americans clear it out, and Sedley comes out of the box. So we're skating 5-on-5, less than 7 minutes left in regulation. As the Grizzlies have played some good hockey here tonight. Out towards center ice, Grizzlies dump it in. Manning in the area as the Americans race towards neutral ice. Manning taps it back towards Anania. Now Manning will come off the ice after a shift. Shea's still out there with Lebster. The Americans throw it out to center ice. Grizzlies pick it off. Utah towards the left circle. They take a lefty shot, and it goes high and out of play off the protective netting. 6:21 left in the third. There's a timeout on the ice. Grizzlies have a 4-goal lead. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
It's the Grizzlies 5 and the Americans 1. Looks like everybody, those having a good time over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Crowd of 4,688. So 3 pretty good crowds over in the Lone Star State. Don't forget the Grizzlies will be at home for a 3-game series against the Atlanta Gladiators. That's going to be a ton of fun. Next Grizzlies home game is going to be on Wednesday night. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. Saturday, December 13th, is going to be the Grizzlies' final teddy bear toss. Utah had just about 5,400 teddy bears last year, and they're looking to break another team record, and we can do it with the help of every Grizzlies supporter, bringing a ton of teddy bears to throw on the ice after Utah's first goal. Scrum over in the right corner of the Grizzlies zone. Utah skating from left to right here in the period, as Salem holding his ground along with Gillette, Christoph Villian, and the Grizzlies continue their battle. Avery Winslow in there. Great to see Winslow back on the ice this week. He missed about a month with an upper body injury as he was cheap-shotted by Mitch Wall. Wall was suspended by the league late in the October 24th game as Winslow gets sandwiched behind Utah's net. Villian over in the corner as Allen converges on him. Salem in the area. Winslow nearby. And out and protecting the net is Daniel Amesbury in the slot as Allen gets the puck over in the right point. Now Allen tips towards the right side. Now across. Dancing around. Decker. Toe drag. Lefty shot and he didn't get much on it. Amesbury might have gotten a stick in the way. As Allen gets back up top, Decker moves it across. About 5 minutes left in regulation. Now Decker, he couldn't quite reach it as he was towards the middle of the ice in the high slot. Now Decker pushes to the corner. Winslow gives Allen a rough ride towards the wall as Allen looked to center it. Now it goes back up top. Less than 5 minutes left. High slot, toe drag shot, and that's blocked. And that was blocked, and Grizzly gets up and is slowly getting towards his feet. I think that was Gillette. And now the Americans look to center it. Shot saved by Wells. Boy, Dylan Wells has been a brick wall here so far tonight as he has made over 40 saves. It seems like the more shots Dylan Wells sees, the more confidence he builds. He had that 46-save shutout October 24th. Now backhand shot and a score. Danny Caddick roofed it over Wells. It was a backhand shot. And that was 4:27 left in the third period. The Americans don't really celebrate as Caddick gets his 5th of the year. It's now a 5-2 game. Americans got it from one goal line to the other. That was a nice-looking backhand shot. I think Morrison's going to get the main assist. And Caddick not only doesn't celebrate, he kind of looks a little bit disappointed about it. And obviously it's tough to celebrate when you look at the scoreboard and it's 5-2 Grizzlies. Caddick almost looked like he was disappointed that he scored. As Caddick takes a deep breath on the Allen bench. It's been all Grizzlies, but the American fans have something to cheer about here late in the third period. Caddick with his 5th goal. We'll give you the details of the assist when we get them. As Allen has the puck deep in their own zone. So Grizzlies 5 and the Americans 2. According to the box score on the ECHL app, Griffin Ness has scored twice. The Americans tapping off the stick of the Utah line, and the puck slides all the way towards Wells, who covers up. Allen has outshot Utah 44-18. But Dylan Wells has made 43 key saves. And Utah has a 5-2 lead. Final timeout, we'll take it as well. We'll find out how this ends on the other side. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
It's the Grizzlies 5 and the Americans 2 as there's 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third. Well, Utah's been outstanding tonight. Aiden Hansen-Buchanan with his first pro goal, 10:40 into the first period. He has 1 goal and 1 assist. Reed Lepster has 1 goal and 1 assist. Danny Genev, 2 assists. Griffin Ness listed with 2 goals. Stepan Timofeyev, 1 goal and 1 assist. The forward line of Manning, Shea, and Lepster each a +2. As the Grizzlies have a 5-2 lead. Danny Kadek scored 15:33 in. He was assisted by Morrison and Asachuk. As the draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Allen has outshot Utah 45-18, and Dylan Wells has saved 43 of 45. Grizzlies won the draw, and Allen, it looks like Tendek is still in there. As the Americans get it back towards the left corner. 4 minutes left in the third. Up top, Anania gets to the high slot. Righty shot, and that one goes wide, as well as move towards his left, trying to get it. Weinstein behind Allen's net. He lifts an American stick. Now the Americans wrap around. Shot saved by Wells. Puck goes towards the right corner. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Allen gets it back off the Utah backboards. The Americans swing it back up top. Now they get to Anania in the high slot. He dances around. Now nudge it towards his left. As the Americans dance around. Now back towards Anania in the high slot. He's a talented second-year defenseman. Over towards Sedley. Righty shot and a score. Sedley fired towards the net, and it's now a 5-3 game. And it looks like Sam Sedley gets the goal. It's his first of the year. Boy, some traffic out in front of Wells, and the Utah goaltender went low and left a little bit of room up high. So 3:20 left in the third. And the Americans are trying to make things interesting. As Sam Sedley, his second year as a pro, it's his first goal as an American. Last year with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, he had no goals in 2 games. He had 7 goals in 62 games with the Reading Royals. He was a teammate in Reading last year with Grizzly forward Tyler Gratton. It's a 5-3 game, about 3 minutes left in regulation. Tendek is still in net for the Americans. We'll see if the Grizzlies have enough gas to close out strong. It's Timofeyev, Ness, and Geneva are the forward line for the Grizzlies. Allen crosses center ice. They'll chip it towards our left. It goes past Enns, who chases after it. Colton Hargrove trying to center to bounce up the skate of Enns. Timofeyev, as he gets bounced and double-teamed in the left corner. As looks like there's still Tendek in net. As Genev, left side, toe drag. He'll take a lefty shot and it goes wide. As he missed the net stick side on Tendek. Tendek catches with his right. Americans under the Grizzlies zone. As McCauley delivers a blow, it looks like Allen's got an extra bounce to their step. They see a window of opportunity. As Americans deep in the Grizzlies zone. Now they switch up skaters. 2:18 on a moving clock. As the Grizzlies have it at the near goal line, they chip it out of play. Is it delay of game? Oh, it is. Grizzlies tried to lift it over an Allen stick, and delay of game is going to be called, and the Americans are going to get a power play. A Grizzly gave a fan a souvenir from his own zone, and with that, Steve Martinson contemplates using his timeout. Sage Weinstein goes to the box. 2 minutes for a delay of game. 2:14 left in the third. Grizzlies had a 5-1 lead. Allen is trying to put together a miraculous comeback. Steve Martinson, it doesn't appear is using his timeout, but he is kind of stalling a little bit. Martinson, 68 years old, talking with Thomas Cron. It looks like there's 5 on the ice for the Americans. 5-on-4 power play. Tendek is still in net. Watch out for Hank Crone. He's been key on the Americans' power play for a couple years. Sam Sedley talking things over. For the Grizzlies, Evan Frieson's going to take the dries out there with John Gillette. Felton and Colby Enns. That's the 4 for Utah. Grizzlies win the draw. Puck goes into the American zone. Tendek is off the ice. Allen's net is empty. 6-on-4, Allen's net's empty. 2 minutes left in the third. Grizzlies lead 5-3. Americans get it back up top right point. Now across to Crone. He's just outside the left circle. Now back up top. Sedley moves to the right side. One-timer's blocked. Puck goes to Sedley in the left wing. Over to Crone. Now back up top, Sedley. He'll move it towards Hargrove. One-timer, saved by Wells. Rebound goes to Utah. Ends will backhand it to neutralize. And the Grizzlies fire towards the empty net. And a score! Utah makes it a 6-3 game. And couldn't quite tell who it was. There's Felton kind of celebrating along with Colby Enns. John Gillette as well, as the Grizzly they were near the bench area and fired towards the empty net. It's a 6-3 game with 1:36 left in the third. Can't quite tell who it was that scored the empty netter. On a scoring move, they said that Gildon redirected the Sedley shot 16-40, and that made it a 5-3 game. Now it's 6-3. And we'll see, according to the ECHL box score, who they gave the goal to. Couldn't quite tell it was. We'll figure it out a little bit later. But it's a 6-3 game, 1.5 minutes left. And Allen's still on a power play. It's a shorthanded goal for the Grizzlies. It's their third shorthanded goal this season. And the first by somebody not named Reed Webster. Americans get it deep in the Grizzlies zone. And the arm is raised. It's icing on the Americans on a power play. So Drow's going to come back towards David Tendek. There's 1:16 left in the third. So it looks like for the second straight Saturday, the Grizzlies are going to salvage the third game of the series. Almost if you look at it as two separate 3-game series, as these teams are meeting in the final game of a 2-city 6-game trek. 3 at Maverick Center last week and 3 at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. So draws over in the left circle. Allen wins it. They're still on a power play for the next minute. It looks like the empty net goal was scored by John Gillette. It's his third goal of the season. And so Gillette gets the empty netter as there's about 1 minute left in regulation. Allen feeds it towards the right side. Americans put together a decent comeback bid as one-timer right side. Blocker saved by Wells. And the puck gets cleared out to center ice. So Gillette with the empty netter, and it was assisted by Colby Enns. So Enns now has 2 assists on the year. Allen bouncing off a Grizzly, racing after a loose puck. Tendek well out of his crease, outlets it to neutralize. As Griffin Ness was chasing after a loose puck. 30 seconds left in the third period. As Ness has 2 goals according to the ECHL box score. As it goes towards the right side. 22 seconds left. Scrum behind Wells' net. Allen tries to feed it out in front. They couldn't quite reach it. Left side, Allen gets it to the corner. Weinstein's out of the box. He joins the play. As the Americans get it back towards the right side, they look to center. It goes wide. 5 seconds left. Grizzlies clear it out to center ice. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it. Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win 6-3, and there was no doubt about it. As Aiden Hansen-Bucata gets his first pro goal. He had 1 goal and 1 assist. Stepan Timofeyev, 1 goal and 1 assist. That's the same for Reed Webster. And Griffin Ness scored 2 goals. Now about Dylan Wells. He held in strong as he saw 49 shots. Wells saves 46 of 49. And the Grizzlies get their 9th victory of the season. It's their 7th road win of the campaign. Utah is now 7-5-1 on the road, and it was a team effort. Grizzlies had to get great contributions from their top forward line. Shea Manning and Webster were each a +2, and the Grizzlies buckled down when they needed to the most, and they come away with the 2 standings points. As the Grizzlies get 2 victories in the 6-game series over the Allen Americans. So Utah goes to the locker room victorious. They will be on the Maverick Center ice next week for a 3-game series against the Atlanta Gladiators. It's going to be Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday next week, December 10th, 12th, and 13th. Face-off all 3 nights will be at 7 o'clock, and you're going to want to see the Grizzlies in action. They're certainly a fun team to watch, and obviously next Saturday is going to be the Teddy Bear Toss. How about Griffin Ness, listed with 2 goals? He now has 5 goals in his last 3 Saturdays. Saturday night's all right for goal scoring for Griffin Ness, and Saturday night's all right for 2 standings points. 2 honks for 2 points if you're sitting on the road right now, as the Grizzlies come away with a 6-3 victory over the Allen Americans. Post-game show starts in 30 seconds. Once again, the final score, it's the Utah Grizzlies 6 and the Allen Americans 3. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Utah wins 6-3. It's the reverse of last night's game where Allen got a 6-3 victory. Utah's now won in back-to-back Saturdays. And for the Grizzlies, Saturday night's all right for 2 standings points, and that's what they earned this evening. Dylan Wells was outstanding in net. He stopped 46 of 49 as he gets his 5th victory of the year. For the Grizzlies, they got it done early in the contest. Aiden Hanson-Bucata, 10:40 in, gets his first pro goal. Reed Lubster and Luke Manning picked up the assist. And for Hanson-Bucata, he's the guy that normally gets it done distributing the puck. He had 10 assists earlier this season. Obviously had one later on in the game, but Hanson-Bucata, who hasn't been a great goal scorer, he had 2 goals last season at The Ohio State University. He had 9 goals in 4 seasons at the Rochester Institute of Technology. It's his 19th pro game, and Aiden Hanson-Bucata gets his first pro goal. He scored from the left wing, 10:40 into the contest. It's a little bit of a debate as to whether Stepan Timofeyev redirected the Griffin Ness shot 15:06 in. Originally, they gave the goal to Timofeyev, and according to the box score, a couple minutes later, they switched it to Griffin Ness. So that's what we can go off of. Ness with the goal, 15:06 into the first. It was his first of 2 on the night, and Ness has 5 goals in his last 3 Saturdays. Utah took a 2-0 lead after 1 period. Allen outshot Utah 14-5 in the first period. In the second period, Allen had a 15-7 edge in the shot count. Utah took a 3-0 lead as Griffin Ness scored 6:01 in on a centering pass from Danny Genev. Stepan Timofeyev also picked up an assist. It was Ness's second goal of the game. Genev picked up his team-leading 12th assist, and Stepan Timofeyev got his 6th assist of the season. Allen got on the board 15:35 in as Colton Hargrove on a one-timer. He was teed up by Colby McCauley. Hargrove got his 3rd of the year in what turned out to be his 500th professional game. It was a 5-on-5 goal. The Americans got on the board 15:35 into the second. Later in the second period, Luke Manning on a wraparound bounced the puck off of David Tendek, and Reed Lubster got the rebound, and he fired it past the Allen goaltender. It's Lubster's 10th goal of the year. He became the first Grizzly player to get to double digits in goals. He has 10. And Luke Manning with his 2nd assist of the night. Manning now has 8 assists on the season. Utah led 4-1 after 2 periods of play. Grizzlies got a power play goal 11:08 in as Stepan Timofeyev scored from the left wing. He fired it stick side past Tendek. Timofeyev got his 5th of the year. Genev and Hanson-Bucata with the assists. That's Aiden Hanson-Bucata's 6 power play assists of the year. And for Danny Genev, it's his 2nd assist of the night. He has 13 on the season, and he now leads Utah with 5 multiple-point games on the year. Allen, you got to hand it to him. They kept battling. Danny Caddick got a centering pass from Morrison. Caddick with a beautiful backhand shot that went over Dylan Wells. That was 15:33 into the third. That made it a 5-2 game. And then Michael Gildon redirected a Sam Sedley shot 16:40 in. Sedley and Anania with the assist. Gildon got a 7th of the year. That was 16:40 into the third, and that certainly made things interesting. And then Sage Weinstein got a delay of game minor with 2 minutes and change left in the third period. Then the Grizzlies scored a shorthanded goal as John Gillette fired towards an empty net. We couldn't quite tell if it was Gillette, but he gets credited with the goal. It's his 3rd of the year. Colby Enns gets the assist, and it's his 2nd of the season. An empty net shorthanded goal. It's Utah's 3rd shorthanded goal of the season, and that was 18:24 into the third. Daniel Amesbury made his Grizzlies debut, and he certainly had an impact as he got in a fight with Braden Simmons-Fisher, 10:31 into the second period. It looked like Amesbury was able to get more blows in than Simmons-Fisher, and the final blow knocked Simmons-Fisher to the ice. Incidentally enough, I'm not sure that we saw Braden Simmons-Fisher much after that, so I'm not sure if he wasn't good to go for the final 25 minutes of regulation, but I don't recall too many shifts that Braden Simmons-Fisher took in the third period. As Daniel Amesbury, he's going to become a fan favorite if he isn't already. Obviously, he's notorious for his enforcer skills. Recently, he just signed to play on with the lacrosse team. He does have a lacrosse background. Daniel Amesbury, the 35-year-old who has previous experience in this league with Fort Wayne and Kansas City. He's obviously going to be a fun one to watch next week if he's in the lineup for the Grizzlies in their 3-game series against the Atlanta Gladiators. Utah was outshot 49-19 tonight, so I guess the formula is to let the other team take as many shots as they want and to be very balanced with the attack. And that seems to have happened a couple games with the Grizzlies this year where the opposition has a big shot advantage, but the Grizzlies come out on top because even though the Grizzlies had 19 shots, they found the back of the net 6 times. 6 goals on 19 shots, you'll take that all day. Allen just kept firing away one shot after another against Dylan Wells. And we've seen a couple of occasions where teams have had a high volume of shots on Dylan Wells, and it seems like he might actually be a better goaltender with the more shots he sees. We saw that with other goaltenders. Lucas Parikh was somebody like that, to where, if he saw 20 shots and got a little bit bored out there, you seem to have more success. When Parikh was seeing shot after shot, seems like that was when he was at his best. And for some reason with Dylan Wells, it seems like the more shots he sees, the better he plays, and with the more confidence he ends up playing with. I don't know why that's the case, but it's kind of interesting that the Grizzlies' one victory in the series was the game where they got outshot 49-19, as opposed to the other 2 games where the Grizzlies had a very strong shot advantage. Utah won the special teams battle. They were 1 for 3 on the power play. They were a perfect 6 for 6 on the penalty kill, and obviously the shorthanded goal at the end on an empty net with John Gillette. So Grizzlies won the special teams battle tonight, and Utah needed their top forward line to come through and produce with a big game. Manning with 2 assists, he was a +2. Shea, no points, but he was a +2. And Reed Lepster, 1 goal and 1 assist, he was a +2 as well. If you get that top forward line to contribute the way the Grizzlies got tonight, they're going to win a lot of games. And the top defensive pairing certainly played a good game as well. Sage Weinstein was a +2, and Christian Felton was a +3. Grizzlies got contributions from just about every defenseman tonight. Colby Enns, 1 assist. Luke Salem played a strong game. So did Avery Winslow, even though it didn't necessarily show up statistically. And obviously, Aiden Hansen-Buchanan with a game he'll never forget, his first pro goal, and he also added an assist, as AHB certainly gotten the job done for the Grizzlies so far this season. Oddly enough, though, Aiden Hansen-Buchanan, despite the big game, was not one of the 3 stars. Third star is Allen's Colton Hargrove. It was his 500th pro game. Hargrove had 1 goal and had 5 shots. He's the third star. Second star is Utah goaltender Dylan Wells, who saved 46 of 49. And the number 1 star is credited with 2 goals. It's Griffin Ness. And he now has 5 Saturday night goals in his last 3 weeks. So Griffin Ness certainly getting the job done for the Grizzlies. He is the number 1 star of the game. We'll have to look at the replay once again. As the one replay I saw, it looked like Timofeyev. Somebody got a piece of the Ness shot that was taken from the right point late in the first period. But, hey, if it's Griffin Ness's goal, he'll certainly take it. And oddly enough, it was unassisted. It was kind of off a bit of a scramble play as both teams are battling over in the right wing boards. Well, we're looking forward to seeing some hockey live and in person next week as the Grizzlies take on the Atlanta Gladiators. Next Grizzly broadcast will be on Wednesday night, but we want to see a big crowd for all 3 games in the series. Atlanta is going to be a fun team to watch. They're 13-5 on the year. Atlanta takes on Jacksonville tomorrow afternoon, and if you have Flow Sports, it'd be a good opportunity to scout the Gladiators. Remember, Utah was in Atlanta for a 2-game set at the start of the regular season. Grizzlies lost in overtime 3-2 on October 18th, and then the Grizzlies, unfortunately, were in the 3rd game in 3 days, and Atlanta was just in the 2nd game of a back-to-back Atlanta had the fresher legs, and they came away with a big victory on October 19th. The final that afternoon was 4-1. So we'll see what happens with the Gladiators. Obviously, Guy Krenz and Jared Youngman being in the building with the Atlanta Gladiators should be a lot of fun. And that should be a great series. And for the Grizzlies, obviously, they're hoping that the momentum off of tonight's victory, they can carry it over and they can play well on home ice. Should be fun if Daniel Amesbury is going to be in the lineup for the Grizzlies. Obviously, he made a physical presence tonight with the fight he had halfway through regulation. And obviously, the Grizzlies have been a fun team to watch all year long. It'll be fun to see Jack Ricketts in action. He's been outstanding. Ricketts did not have a point tonight, though, as his point-scoring streak ended at 6 straight. The Grizzlies are a fun team to watch, and obviously, we're going to have a ton of fun at Maverick Center all week. Don't forget to get your tickets for all 3 games of the Atlanta series, and especially on Saturday night, 7 days from now, as it's the final teddy bear toss in team history. That'll just about wrap things up once again in 2 hours and 30 minutes in front of a good Saturday night crowd of 4,688. The Utah Grizzlies got 2 goals from Griffin Ness, Stepan Timofeyev, Aiden Hansen-Bukata, and Reed Webster each had 1 goal and 1 assist, and Dylan Wells saved 46 of 49 in net. Until then, Wednesday night, 6:50 pregame show, 7:10 face-off. I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.